Good afternoon to all American football fans from the frequencies of FIDAF television. My name is Francesco Porcello and I will be your announcer for this afternoon's game. You are looking live at K-Pro Arcoveggio Stadium in Bologna, where in a half hour we will kick off the semi-final match of the bracket assigning positions from 5 to 8 of the 2019 Under-19 European Championships between host nation Italy and Spain. Simultaneous to our game, Finland will square off against Norway at Lunetta Gamberini Giorgio Bernardi Sports Center, also located here in Bologna. Our coverage of the final phase of Euro 2019 finals will continue tonight at 9 p.m. when we will bring you the semi-final matches from the winners bracket between defending champion Austria and Denmark, here from K-Pro Stadium, and Sweden versus France from the Bernardi complex. My partner in the broadcast booth for this afternoon's game is my good friend Dario Grippa.
Good afternoon.
Dario, Italy played well but eventually lost 17-6 in a tense, hard-fought match against Denmark on Monday night, while Spain was not able to contain Austria's offensive firepower Monday afternoon and ended up losing the game 61-7. Before you tell us something about this afternoon's game, I know you have a message to deliver to our Spanish friends.
Thank you, Francesco. During our broadcast on Monday, I wanted to describe the difference in terms of height and weight between the offensive lines of Spain and Austria. With English not being my native language, I used inappropriately the word fat when I really should have used the word big. Apologies to our Spanish friends following us from home, and I definitely not want to offend anyone with my commentary. Now, Francesco, going back to today's game, Team Spain has bumped against an almost impossible matchup against one of the best teams in Europe. Today they have a more affordable test, and we'll see the real level of this team. They have flashed against Austria, finding some way to move the chain. Today those guys have to try to do the same and possibly better. Team Italy has played a very tight game and they have paid the price of individual mistakes. We have seen a very well-coached team with a clear and organized game plan, especially on offense, and a very stout defense. The team today has to play at the same level, trying to clean up some miscues to have a chance to play for the third place on Sunday.
Thank you, Dario. We will now go to the field and to Manfredi Leone, that will be our sidelines reporter today. I see Manfredi already has a guest. Manfredi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you guys. Very happy to be on the field again for game day 2. My first guest today in the pre-game interview is Coach Riccardo Mero, also known as Rico. Thank you, Coach Rico, to be with us in this pre-game interview for have time for our fans. So you were almost with the same page of Denmark. Finally, it was a tough game. Now you are preparing this one. It is very important to get the rank. We had a nice interview with Coach Lorandi this morning. Everything is set. He said the defense is not changing, but you are the defensive coordinator. Would you spoil something for us to know, because the game is 20 minutes to go?
I will tell you, defense is not changing for sure.
Okay, that's good. So defense is going to be a 30 defense like we saw in with the Denmark.
Manfredi,
yes.
Could you ask Rico, as we are very good friends for many years, how many years of life he lost after Calbucci injured himself?
Yes, I will ask him. So I have on my earphone Francesco Porcello asking how many years of life he lost after the injury of Tiberio Calbucci yesterday.
I'm honest, we are a 35 defense and we rely on the group much more on the single player. So Tiberio is an outstanding player and he performed like you saw on the field last game, but I'm pretty confident that our backup will do a very good job to replace him in the lineup.
Are you happy with what we see with the defense? Because you did a great job erecting a wall. When you defending the 1 yard line was an incredible, outstanding job. Unfortunately, not enough to win the game, but we saw a very interesting defense Monday night.
We fought so hard against Denmark, and we knew that the physical challenge would have been tough for us because the weight difference was huge, and they were so experienced compared to us. But we really fought hard, and we were in the game to the final minutes of it, and we are so proud and happy about it. We are confident today is going to be a little different, because we found ourselves in a very good mood after the Denmark game. Also, if with also with the loss, we were happy about our performance on defense, and we will fight so hard today that we will win for sure.
What do you think about the key of the game today?
We know they have a very good quarterback. We scouted him, obviously, and he performed well against a very good team like Austria, so we have to try to stop him first. Then we have to be a team on the field as we did on Denmark. So the key to the game is to perform like a perfect orchestra on the field.
Okay, so we will listen the sound of this orchestra. Thank you very much, Coach Rico. The line is to you, friends, and I will catch my next guest in a minute.
Thank you, Manfredi. So as we await for our next guest, we tried to trick Riccardo into telling us something about obviously the injury that we mentioned. As our friends from home may already be aware, Tiberio Calbucci, our defensive MVP linebacker for the Italian blue team, unfortunately will not be playing today as he has injured himself in a non-football related injury. But I would like to give the line back to Manfredi, because I see that our second guest has already arrived.
Yes, we are here with Francisco Marcos, offensive coordinator, Team Spain. We were rivals 1 million of years ago when I was coaching and playing in Badalona Drugs in Spain in 1988, so like another era. And he was playing as well the Buffals, and was a nice experience. But let's go into the game. You lost with Austria, that is supposed to be one of the biggest and strongest team for this championship. It is clear that you put the team all together in a so short time. But now it's different. It's the second game, and you are preparing this game in a different way. Can you talk to us something?
Yeah, I think it's obvious that the North European teams are physically a little bit superior to the rest of the teams. Both of our teams, Italy and Spain, lose the first game, but even that Austria are actually the champions. So there's probably is the best team right now. But Italy have a nice game against Denmark, so they fight each other, and probably they deserve a better score. But anyway, now we're fighting again. Probably the key thing from the game is going to be that the Italian team show a very nice aerial game. So probably we have to protect the receivers, and we have to be very careful with the safeties, the secondary. I think they play pretty good, so I don't know. Let's play and see.
Italy and Spain, they faced in 2016 in Castel Giorgio, but they were two different teams, completely different, because every 2 years you change all the players. So we will have a completely new brand game with those two teams. But which is the key for you? What's in your game plan, what you can say now, because it's a kind of secret before the game, that can change the mood that you had with Austria in this game against Italy?
Well, the key things, as you say, the teams in 2 years have probably renewed completely. I mean, maybe in the roster we have 2 or 3 players that were in Castelgiorno playing against Italy when we defeat them. But now we'll see. I mean, the team that we saw the other day, it's a pretty nice team with a very skilled players. So probably today our goal is going to be try to run the ball, because we understand that the pass is very good cover. They have very good safeties, and of course, as they practice together, they have very good safeties, get very good secondary, but very good wide receivers and a nice quarterback. So probably we have to stop. The key thing here is going to stop the pass from the Italian team, and we're going to try to run the ball.
Okay, super nickel defense. Is going to play Carlos Martin as a quarterback today?
No. Today we're going to be the starting quarterback. It's going to be David De Diego, and we have Carlos that he will get in the game, but we don't know how often.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Francisco, for your time with us. If you don't have any other questions, I will release you the line and I will reach you in moments to start this wonderful commentary from the Arcoveggio Stadium.
Thank you, Manfredi. Thank you, Coach. So, Dario, we heard first from Coach Merola and now from the head coach of the Spanish team, Marcos Girles. He said that he will try to run. He has a lot of respect for the Italian secondary that was one of the, let's say, most positive aspects of Italy's game against Denmark. From the Spanish standpoint, even though it was not mentioned, I am sure that it was important for a team that was assembled in such a short time to come here. Of course, they had the worst possible opponent with Austria. That is definitely the favorite team to win this tournament. But now they have one game under their belt. They probably have shaken off all the rust, let's say, all the butterflies in the head, maybe for some players that were not initially supposed to be here. And I expect Spain, I don't know if they will be able to win. That is not what I'm thinking of right now. What I'm thinking of, I expect Spain to show us some improvement.
I'm sure, Francesco, that Spain will be a nice test for the Italian team. Those guys have shown flashes of brilliance against, as you said, the worst opponent possible in the first game of the tournament. They've shown that they are not afraid to run the ball, and the head coach declared that he wants to run the ball.
So, as we have a chance to look at the refereeing crew of today's game, if I can ask our broadcast team to give us the graphic of the referees so we can give you, here we go, thank you.
So today's game, the referees crew is built by referee Mr. Veiko Lumislav, umpire Mr. Zaki Lutz, center judge Mr. Thomas Jancic, linesman Mr. Magnus Magnusson, line judge Mr. Attila Sizai, field judge Mr. Kim Larsen, side judge Mr. Andrea Colombo, and back judge Mr. Stefano D'Amato.
Thank you, Dario. So there you have our crew for today's game, and let's spend the next minute or so looking at the two players that we chose as our players to watch for today's game. I would like to start with our guests today, with the Spanish team, and my choice fell on Pelayo Martinez. He is a defensive back, 17 years of age. You can see his build and weight. He's a meter 79 per 72 kilograms. He plays for the London Blitz, and in the first game he brought home, I believe, 4 unassisted tackles and 2 assisted tackles for a total of 5 overall tackles. He impressed me for his capacity to shorten the distance to the wide receiver or to the ball carrier in general, and also even though he is not very big in terms of size, he delivered some really good pop on his tackles. The player for Italy, it's Adalberto Rinaldi, wide receiver, number 87. He's 19 years of age. Big guy, 1 meter 92 per 88 kilograms. He plays in first division in Italy with the Dax Lazio, and in the game against Denmark, he caught 7 passes for 43 yards. My suggestion to our friends from home, follow number 87 around, because he has some really sweet moves and he has some fantastic hands. Now, Dario, if you agree, I would like to give the line to the field, to our man on the field, Gianluca Corti, and to the introduction of the two teams.
Veramente vicini all'introduzione sia del ingresso, e vado a introdurre gli arbitri. Let me introduce the crew referee. The referee, Veiko Lumislav, and by Zaki Lutz. And ready to introduce the Hawaii team for this match. Team Spain! ¡Hola España! ¡Vamos España! And Team Spain! Let's introduce the starting line for the offense, number 72, Paul Soto. Number 55, Jose Mora. Number 54, Joel Fuentes. Number 79, David Contreras. Number 65, Matteo Martinez. Number 85, Steve Dinero. Number 80, Matias Castaño. Number 88, Luis Moreno. Number 87, Jordi Rua. Number 12, Miguel Quince. Number 1, the quarterback, David De Diego. And a big applause for the coaching staff, Team Spain. Buena suerte al Team España. And now, siamo pronti ad accogliere la nazionale ospitante, la nazionale di casa. Il colore lo sapete bene, è blu, l'azzurro. Ecco voi, l'Italia! Facciamo sentire il tifoso italiano per And the second half for the offense, number 1, the quarterback, Davide Rossi. Number 86, Andrea Costanzi. Number 87, Adalberto Rinaldi. Number 61, Alessandro Piccarelli. Number 75, Filippo Martinelli. Number 71, Riccardo Villiers. Number 73, Melvin Rodriguez. Number 68, Andrea Carpignano. Number 9, Tommaso Bergoni. And by that, number 49, Alessandro Provelli. E non fermate l'applauso per il coaching staff dei Blue Team Italia.
So you've heard the presentations of the two teams, in particular the offense of the team that will be the visiting team today, as it has a lower ranking in the tournament, which is Spain, and the home team in blue that will be Italy. You see the teams already positioned at midfield, so you probably have already guessed that we ask you to join us and to stand up as now the two national anthems will be played.
the Italian national anthem.
So you've seen the teams, you've heard the
1, 2, 3,
anthems,
1, 2, 3, testing mic.
you've heard the names of the umpires, of the refereeing crew today. All we need is the coin toss, and then we will be ready for some football today. The weather at this very moment is 34 degrees and 34% of humidity, so it's perfect weather for playing football, Dario.
Yeah, Francesco, is a great day, a little bit hot. We have taken some steps on the playing field half an hour ago, and it was really hot. Probably the guys will be a little bit affected by the temperature.
Yes, we did spoke with some personnel from the coaching staff as we took our jog on the field before the game, and in particular they were telling us that
maybe they put it on.
it is very hot. Fortunately, the humidity is not extremely high, so it should be easier for the players if they hydrate correctly to perform at the top level. Let's remind our friends from home that the winner of this game will go against the winner of the game that is being played at the same time at our other venue, Giorgio Bernardi Sports Center. So the winner of this game will play Finland, the winner of Finland and Norway, in the game that gives the possibility to fifth place. The loser of this game against the loser of the game between Finland and Norway will play in the game that gives access to seventh place. The time of the games is 9 o'clock, so follow us at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning for the 7th and 8th place game, and 12:30, so 12:30 for the 5th and 6th place game. Of course, the winners of the games, the semifinals that we'll be playing tonight, will be going for the championship Sunday night at 9 p.m., while the losers of tonight's semifinals will play in the game for 3rd and 4th place that will be played in this very stadium, just like the final, at 5 p.m. So let's hear now the coin toss and find out who will receive the ball first. Meanwhile, you may have noticed the presence of two, let's say, civilians next to the referees. It's Mr. Tortosa from the Italian Federation that
Matteo,
will...
can you toss the coin? And before you call, the player is called. Let's go.
A small commemorative plaque will be given.
It's Mexico. Italy has won the coin toss. You decline. Italy defers to the second half. You will get the ball, and which end do you want to defend? Which end do you want to kick from? Okay, let's go that way. Go there, line up. España will receive the ball. Have a good game. Thank you, Matteo.
And as you're seeing at this very moment, this commemorative plaque given to the city of Bologna that has been the wonderful host of this European Under-19 Championships. Italy won the toss, deferred to the second half, Dario, and Spain will receive the initial kick. So Italy probably wants to test immediately this Spanish offense and wants to send the defense on the field right away.
Francesco, I'm really excited and I'm eager to see the Spanish running game. So the head coach told us that he wants to run the ball, he wants to establish a strong running game since the beginning of the game. And we have seen this strong running game also against Austria. So ready for the show.
Number 5, Andrea Serra from First Division Jaguari Torino, ready to kick off for the Italian team. 2 men deep for the Spanish team to receive the kick, but the kick is short and it's picked up on the opposite sideline by a man on the second line of wedge, and specifically number 8, Jules Manero. The ball is downed without any further return on the 26-yard line. So 26-yard line of the Spanish portion of the field is where we will have the first offensive play of this game. One receiver left and 3 receivers on the right side for David De Diego. That is once again the starting quarterback for the Spanish team today. Number 80, Matias Castagno, in motion from right to left as we wait for the snap, the handoff, and it is a run right up the middle of the Italian defense that, as we mentioned before, today is missing Calbucci, and it is a good run for Miguel Quince, number 12, that immediately gains more than 10 yards, moves the chain, first down Spain. Dario, you were excited to see the Spanish running game, and I think you already got a piece of what you were looking for.
Yeah, good start for the Spanish offense.
Once again, one receiver, same position as the play before, and it is once again Quince running with the ball. He exploits the middle of the Italian field. He then takes off on the left sideline, and it is once again another first down for Spain, Dario.
First of all, we noticed that Italy has switched to a more classical 4-3 or 4-2 in this situation package. During their first game, they played all the game with a 3-4 defense. Now we can see a more conventional 4-2 nickel package.
Good play, good run, and Spain that is immediately, after only 2 plays, able to cross to the other half of the field. Once again, it's Quince. Once again, it is almost the photocopy play or the play of what we just saw. Initial run up the middle, no real, let's say, confrontation from the Italian defense. He then takes off on the left sideline, and it is once again a gash of more than 10 yards that gives Spain its third consecutive first down. Very, very good start from the Spanish team that has been exploiting the difficulty right now against the run of the Italian defense. Now on this first down, Spain tries to go by air, and the pass is tipped and falls incomplete. So Dario, we will see the first second down of this game.
Yeah, Francesco, just a little time to notice this new four-man front, and then Coach Merola has switched back to a three-man front. Now they're playing still in a nickel package with a 3-3 formation. Let's check it out if they can start to contain the Spanish running game.
Second down and 10 for Spain, 33-yard line of the Italian portion of the field. It is once again a run up the middle, but this time it's Jules Manero, number 8, I believe, number 18, Brian Colome, the ball carrier. It is a gain of approximately 7 yards, so once again, very good running for the Spanish team. It is 3rd and 3. Two receivers left, two receivers right. Some movement on in the offensive line of Spain, on the left side of the offensive line of Spain. And just like their senior fellows in the bigger teams, both offensive lines...
Dead ball, sorry. Offsides, defense, 74. 5 yards penalty, result, first down.
Blame each other, but the correct call, it's only the one that comes from the man with the white head. And it is a very bad penalty for the Italian team, because a 3rd and 3 becomes a 1st and 10 because of the offside of the defense. And Spain, that is only 1 yard away from entering for the first time the red zone today. 1st down and 10 for Spain. I was saying two receivers left and two receivers right for David De Diego. Once again a handoff, this time finally for the first time today the Italian defense is able to stop the running back almost in the backfield. The number 48 Fabio Cognolato on the tackle. And it will be 2nd down and 9 now from Spain, exactly from the 20-yard line. Once again, an attempt to run up the middle from the Spanish team. And Dario, as you correctly mentioned, I think that the adjustments from Coach Merola are reaping results for the Italian defense that now looks a bit more prepared against this very, I don't want to call it basic, but let's say standard football play that Spain has been repeating, this very basic run up the middle that was giving some extremely positive results in the first few plays of the game.
Probably, Francesco, they have prepared, they have practiced a little bit more the three-man front.
Back to pass, De Diego. This time the pass was intended for number 83, Alonso Fernandez. The pass was a little bit overthrown and it falls incomplete. 4th down. I see the kicking team coming onto the field. So I am under the impression that number 36, Jaime Cuenca, will come in and try to attempt a field goal with, as you can see, De Diego, number 1, that will be the holder for the kick.
Yeah, a long field goal for Team Spain, but they seemed not to have any doubt about kicking it. The ball is in the air and the kick is good. So the first 3 points in this game are scored by Team Spain. A long field goal, about 35 yards.
So Cuenca showing us some really good power on his leg. The distance was not the easiest, but the kick falls very well through the uprights. It was quite central, and it had room to spare. So I'm pretty sure that he could have made it also the same kick from also 5, 6, maybe 7 more yards of distance. So a good start from the Spanish team that now facing probably an opponent of different level with respect to Austria, looks to be quite more relaxed they marched almost 60 yards and were able to capitalize with this field goal and have put the first 3 points of this game on the board.
Francesco, Italian defense looked like they just need to get on time, on a rhythm with at least two or three different starters in the box. So they just need to gel a little bit.
Cuenca again, as he is also the man in charge of punts and kickoffs for the Spanish team. This time it's a squib kick that looks to head out of bounds, so it will be a penalty, and perhaps Spain will have to kick again. Let's wait and see what is the decision on the field. Yes, Dario, to go back to what you were saying, I had the impression that Spain in 4 or 5 runs maximum would have entered the end zone, and instead they stalled a little bit as soon as Italy switched
Kick
back.
out of bounds. Kicking team number 36. 5 yards penalty, free kick.
Francesco, probably the 3-4, the 3-3 nickel look Rico Merola sent in the second half of the drive probably has made things a little bit complicated for Spanish team. In the first game, they haven't shown by their own 3-4 look, so probably they're not so used to practice against that look, and they will need some time to adjust the block assignments.
As a matter of fact, if we go back to Rico's interview in the pregame, he told us that he uses a standard 3-5 where the collective effort is the most important aspect rather than the single players. So 5 yards back onto the 30, another squib kick to try and avoid the long return. It is number 46 for Italy, Samuele Marotta, picking up the ball and bowling over a few Spanish players. The Italian offense will have a wonderful field position thanks to the good work by Marotta, that by trade is a defensive end, but looked quite, let's say, comfortable returning the ball.
Francesco, I can say that I'm the former offensive coordinator of this guy. He has played in my team, and he was also my tight end or fullback. So he's comfortable running the ball.
The hands are good. Okay. The ball is spotted on the 49 of the Spanish portion of the field, so the Italian offense will have the luxury of starting this drive already in the back portion, in the Spanish portion of the field. Flag from the back, judge.
Dead ball. Delay of game. Offense number 1. 5 yards. Still first down.
And as it is almost always the case when the back judge throws a flag before the start of the play, it is a delay of game, Dario.
Francesco, the Italian team just need to focus a little bit more on the game. They look a little bit contract and so nervous.
This time the field judge throws a flag and the Italian offense has not had the opportunity.
For the snap. False start. On the offense, 86. 5 yards. Still first down.
Andrea Costanzi, Dario, only 16 years from him, the guilty party on this penalty. And the Italian offense is so far moving in the wrong direction, as it has taken penalties on consecutive plays that have made things definitely more complicated. As now Davide Rossi from First Division Panthers Parma will lead the offense back onto the field for this first down and 20. Ball on the 41-yard line of the Italian portion of the field. Rossi scans the field and looks for a receiver. The ball falls approximately in between number 87 Rinaldi and number 86 Costanzi. It was kind of difficult to figure out who was the intended receiver. The result of the play, it's an incomplete pass, and it will be 2nd and 20 for Italy. Once again, Rossi looking back for a completion. This time he has his man. It's number 81, Simone Boni. Good catch for Boni for approximately 11 yards. It should be a 3rd down and 9 after the catch from the player from 2nd Division, Rhinos Milano, that just won the Silver Ball, which is the Italian equivalent of the 2nd Division Championship. 3rd and 1 less yard than what I expected, so it will be 3rd and 10. Rossi back, takes a couple of steps on the right, takes a hit as he throws the ball away. This time the intended receiver is number 49, Alessandro Brovelli, but the pass is overthrown. Brovelli seemed also to slow down in the final portion of his pattern, and the result, it's an incomplete pass. It will be 4th and 10 with the Italian punting team out, in particular Jacopo Salsa from Jaguari Torino will be the punter, number 5. Number 25, Lucas Macero, back to return this kick. It is a very good angle kick by...
And a great effort by number 44, Daniele Proietti, defensive back, and in this situation, long snapper, he fielded the ball at the 1 yard line. Nice effort.
Very good job from the punting team, the Italian punting team, that was able to, the ball took a weird bounce. It was almost going out of bounds around the 6-7 yard line, and then it took a really weird bounce towards the middle of the field. As you can see, it is now on the close hash marks, but the Italian team, as you can see in the replay right here, very good work from the punting team, and they were able to recover the ball exactly on the 2 yard line, which is where Spain will start once again on offense. 1st and 10 for Spain on the 2 yard line, 1st and 10 for David De Diego. It is a handoff that is able to basically only bring the ball back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It is again, once again, number 12, Miguel Quince, the ball carrier, the very diminutive but very fast and agile runner, only 1 meter and 69 per 64 kilos per Miguel, that plays with the Mariners and is 19 years old. 2nd and 10 for Spain. This time it's a pass. The ball is tipped up in the air. For a moment the ball was up as it was tipped by Fabio Cognolato, the Italian linebacker, but the ball ends up on the ground where it will be 3rd down and 10. Manfredi.
Yes, we have on the other field Finland leading 5-0 against Norway. 1 safety, 1 field goal. Now Norway has the ball on the 25 yards line, so it's going to be interesting.
So both games very interesting. Let's see now what Spain will try. There is some movement at the line of scrimmage. The center, the Spanish center, falls backward as if hit by a very strong object. It would seem that it is an offside by the defense. Offside with contact.
Offsides, defense.
Yes.
Number 55, 5 yards penalty. Still 3rd down.
The strong object was Eric Menghini, defensive lineman from the Legnano Frogs.
All 103 kilograms of the 18-year-old Menghini. So a little bit more breathing room for the Spanish offense. It is still a rather complicated situation as we will play a 3rd down and 6 from the 6 yard line, so still very close to the Spanish end zone. It is once again a throw. It is a very good catch, but immediately the hard hit of number 44, Daniele Proietti, that we just mentioned on the special team. So Spain is not able to move the ball. This was probably a drive where they just wanted to move out of the, let's say, the dangerous areas and give perhaps their punter some room. I don't know if the result is really what the Spanish coaching staff was hoping for, Dario.
Francesco, with the with this kind of starting position, you just need to adjust your play calling and to be because you are scared about taking a safety.
That's their first team timeout.
So you're not allowed to do whatever you want.
5:49 the time on the field when Italy calls its first timeout. I agree with you. I believe we all know that a portion of your playbook is not available when you are that close to your to the back of the end zone, and normally teams will try to run the ball with some types of run that bring the ball carrier as soon as possible in a forward movement as to avoid or at least limit as much as possible the time of stay in the end zone in order to avoid a tackle that would then become a safety and 2 points, just like the 2 points that Finland scored together with a field goal against Norway, as Manfredi just mentioned to us.
In this drive, Italy has played a very wide defensive front with just 3 linemen, the 2 defensive end in a wide 9 alignment and just 1 nose tackle. So probably the Spanish coach was afraid of some kind of trickery with some blitzes or delay blitzes in the middle.
The punt comes out, but there is also a flag on the field. I believe that Spain changed the punter because I don't see number 36, the usual punter, but I see in this situation, I believe it's Alex Pacheco, which is number 5, that is also a quarterback. Both the head linesman and the line judge have thrown flags on this play, so let's hear what the call is.
There's a long discussion with the coaches along the sideline.
Yes, on the Italian sidelines, there's some explanation from the referees. There's Coach Lorandi that...
Illegal formation, kicking team, 5 yards penalty from the end of the run, first down.
A gift by Spain.
So you heard it, it's an illegal formation that garners 5 extra yards for the Italian team. That will, for the second drive in a row, Dario, have a very advantageous field position as the blue team will snap from the 42-yard line of the Spanish team. Let's see if on this drive they can make better use of the field position. Pistol formation for Italy. The handoff is to number 9, Tommaso Tenconi, that struggles to gain positive yards, and only thanks to his second effort, Dario is able to pick up approximately 2 yards.
Francesco, Italy has changed some personnel in defense, as we said, but I can see a different center tonight, this afternoon. Against Denmark, the center was number 63, Previtali. Now is playing number 64, Cosimo Landi from the Firenze Guelfi.
Once again, Simone Boni is the intended receiver. Not enough for a first down, but another complete on the cold connection between Davide Rossi and Simone Boni. Already the second time that they connect in this first quarter. And I stand corrected as my point of view tricked me into believing that it was not a first down. It is. The chains move. 1st and 10 Italy from the 31 of Spain. This time double receiver on both sides of the field, but it is once again a handoff to Tenconi, and it is once again very well read by the front portion of the Spanish defense, Stadio.
In these 2 drives, we can say that the Italian offensive line is still searching for his usual standard. We can see that they're starting to rotate some personnel, and they are not on the same page. in this start of the game.
2nd and 12, this time it's back to pass Rossi. He has a free man on the right side, but the ball is overthrown because Andrea Costanzi had beaten his man and was basically free to go towards the end zone. Maybe a rare case, Dario, where Davide did not show the usual very, very soft touch with the football and perhaps overthrew his wide receiver.
In this first quarter, the Spanish front four has taken a lot of pressure on Rossi, so probably he's starting to watch a little bit too much around him and not downfield.
Team Italy.
I believe that
That's their
the
second
Italian
team timeout.
Had to call another timeout because the clock was rapidly arriving to 0, and so I had the impression that the sideline called a quick timeout in order to avoid a delay of game. So 3:51 to play in the first quarter. Team Italy already down to its last timeout, and the score, as we have mentioned a few times, is 3-0 from Spain, thanks to the long 36-yard field goal of number 36, Jaime Cuenca.
At this point, Francesco, Team Spain has shown aggressiveness. They are playing for real. On the other side, Team Italy is still searching for his rhythm.
Yes, I agree with you. I believe that that there is always a team that is more prepared as soon as the game starts, and that team has definitely been Spain. And there is a team that perhaps, like a diesel engine, takes a little bit to start to get all the cylinders going, and that is Team Italy. 3rd down and 12 for Team Italy. Ball on the 33-yard line. It's an obvious pass situation. Rossi is back, but as you mentioned, strong pressure from the front four, and in particular, Jules Manero, defensive lineman of 16 years of age, 1.84 m for 90 kilogram for this great player from the Las Rosas Black Demons. Let's watch the replay. Watch him penetrate in almost untouched. Number 64 from Team Italy, Cosimo Landi, looked to be the player that missed on the blitz.
Francesco, Manero looks built more as a defensive end, but is now lined as a three-technique defensive tackle. So the defensive coordinator wants to create a mismatch with the speed of Manero against the strength of the offensive guard. And for now, it's working.
Good play in the Spanish backfield by Lucas Mazero, number 25. He faked the return and then at the very last moment moved away, not allowing the Italian players to get down to the ball to down it. And in fact, thanks to the smart play by the Spanish returner, the ball this time does end up in the end zone for a touchback. So with 2:55 to play in the first quarter, it will be once again Spanish ball for this next offensive drive. This time definitely in a much better field position than in the past drive. So maybe we will see if Spain is able to recreate that very strong and valid running game that we saw at the beginning of the first quarter. De Diego hands it off to number 12 once again. It seems as if Miguel Quince is the preferred running back today. He is
Italy is starting again to switch personnel. Now is using some rotation by the linebackers and the defensive line. Now we can see some sort of 3-3 under alignment just to make things a little less easier for the offensive line.
Second effort grants him approximately 4 yards. And now, instead, the ball is caught by number 87, Hordirua, for a Spanish first down. I believe it is the first complete pass today for De Diego. Let's go and watch the replay. It's a play action pass. It's a fake handoff. He rolls out to the left. He buys some time by basically allowing the blitzing players to chase him towards the outside until Alba was free, and he was free for a good catch that grants Spain a first down on the 39 yards. So it's approximately 15 yards on the pass. Now we go back to the running game. We go back to Quince, and it is very well read and stopped by the Italian defense. A number of players on the tackle. Ramiel Mekri, the linebackers from the Dolphins Ancona, I believe, leading the charge. And as we just said, no gain on this very last play, so it will be a second down and 10. The ball is spotted on the 39-yard line. This time it's a pass, and it is caught by number 80s for Spain, Matias Castaño. But it is a very small gain, I believe approximately no more than 3 yards. So third down and 7 coming up from Spain as we are coming up on the last or second to last play of the first quarter, Dario.
Francesco, the two defensive coordinators, Coach Merola and Coach Joachim, are trying to do the same things. We have talked about Manero aligned as a 3 technique. Now we can see Marotta, who is also built like a defensive end, playing nose tackle in a 1 technique. So everyone wants to put some mismatch based on the speed against strength.
Meanwhile, De Diego has some issues with his center that snaps the ball probably while he was not ready to receive it. Fortunately, he is very quick and he dives ahead and recovers the ball himself, but it will be 4th and 7 now for Spain.
In my opinion, Francesco, this is what happens when your center has to block very little and
This is the end of the first quarter.
A very little and fast nose tackle, so a strange kind of block. Usually the center starts to think too much at being very fast with his feet, and usually this makes a lot more difficult to snap the ball in an accurate way, especially if you're playing the shotgun.
So we can compare basically the thought process in the center's head, like a receiver that thinks of where he wants to go before he catches the ball and then he drops it. And in this case, he's thinking of the man that he has to stop, and perhaps it's a guy that has already burned him 1 or 2 times, and therefore he's not concentrated sufficiently on the snap, and these bad things happen, if I understand your analysis.
Exactly.
So, end of the first quarter, the teams switch field, and it is now a 4th down for the Spanish punt team. The ball is positioned on the 41-yard line of the Spanish field. It is a very bad snap, and number 5, Alex Pacheco, is able to recover it quite a few yards back from his initial position. He is able to then escape to the left, but his kick is absolutely not what they were looking for, as the Spanish punt basically ends out of the field, Dario, only 2 yards further than when than the initial line of scrimmage. So
Francesco, the problem has been a bad snap by number 56 Manuel Lorzing. So the punter needed to run for the ball, run for his life, because there's too much time for the blocking team to come around the punter. So you just need not to be tackled before the kick.
For the 3rd time in a row, Italy has a very good starting position, the 41-yard line of the Spanish portion of the field. It's Tenconi that takes the handoff, breaks a series of tackles. He's still up, but the 4th guy actually to put his hands on him, Jules Manero, is able to bring him down. very good second, third and fourth effort by Tenconi. Second down and 6 for the blue team. Manfredi.
Yeah, we have the stats of the first quarter. With the picture is a better Spain than Italy with 72 yards, Spain in total offense, while Italy was playing for 12 yards. But now the mood is changing, as you mentioned before. And in about passes, we have 3-on-6, Team Spain, and 2-on-5 for Team Italy.
Back to pass on second down, Rossi has Adalberto Rinaldi open, a fantastic one-hand catch on the right side of the field, on the hash marks, near the stands where we are commenting. And as you can hear from the noise in the background, everybody up for Adalberto Rinaldi. Dario, an easy choice for a player to watch, for a very good 19-year-old wide receiver. Let's watch here the replay. Rinaldi, just like an expert receiver, using his left arm to sort of expertly push away the defender in a non-foul way, and then with the right arm he's able to garner the ball in for a one-hand catch. Wonderful job by Adalberto. First and goal from the 9-yard line from Italy, and the ball is dropped on a quick swing pass on the left to Alessandro Brovelli.
Francesco, that's why we have chosen him as a player to watch. The guys have shown a lot of poise. He has created the separation with his hand, with his technique, and a great job receiving the ball with just one hand.
Two receivers left and two receivers right for Tommaso Rossi, that has Andrea Allegretti behind to block for him. Similar pass to the one before, but this time the ball is for number 86, Andrea Costanzi. Touchdown, Team Italy! Dario, quite similar to the play before, in an attempt to stretch the defense as the position on the field is a very short one. The first time the ball was dropped, but the player looked to be rather free on the side. So Coach Lorandi went back basically to a similar play. This time the ball was caught, and as soon as Costanzi was able to turn the corner, he was able to dive for the pylon and put 6 points on the board, as the kick is up by Jacopo Salsa, and Italy puts the first points of the afternoon on the board. 7-3 Team Italy, 10:32 to play.
Team Spain is playing man coverage, so there were a clear out by the external route by the wide receiver, and then the out route by the slot receiver has taken off the play, the linebacker. We can see in the replay a bad angle and a nice diving touchdown.
Very bad angle by Lucas Masero, that probably found himself in a difficult position because the external receiver came in on the slant and basically cleared the zone, so he had quite some ground to try and catch up to the receiver, and he was not able to pick up Costanzi due also to his good speed, and the result of the play was a touchdown for the Italian team. Let's see now if the Spanish offense will be able to counter what this first touchdown scored by Team Italy. Once again, Salsa ready to kick off. A little bit of trouble for the kicking team as two returners collide. It is a good return, however, for the Spanish team, for number 88, Luis Moreno, that is able to bring the ball back on the 31-yard line. And as the initial portion of the second quarter has just started, we have now a new leader on the scoreboard, that is Team Italy, 10:26 to play. Let's see what Coach Girles and Coach Gil, the offensive coordinator of the Spanish national under-19 team, have prepared to try and regain the lead on the scoreboard. It is a good pass up the middle with a very good job on a spin move by number 89, Juan Daniel Guedes. Very good move. He basically left the defender there looking for him and was able to gain some really good yards after a catch. Let's watch the replay. 13 yards the gain. Here is the very good move by the Spanish receiver. First down and 10 for Spain from their own 46-yard line. This time it's Quince with the handoff, and in a deja vu of the first Spanish drive, a good run of 10 yards. It will all depend on the spot of the referees if it is a first down or not. I see that they've already signaled second down and 1.
Francesco, probably the Spanish offensive line, after a couple of drives, is starting to getting better angles and better assignments on the 3-3 defensive front, and so they could start to run again the ball.
Second and 1 from the Italian 45-yard. More ball in the air. A similar play, this time probably a specular play to the pass that was caught a couple of plays ago. This time the pass is thrown on the right side, and the ball is caught once again by number 89, Juan Daniel Guedes. It is a catch for more than 10 yards and another first down for the Spanish national team that will snap the next ball from the Italian 37-yard line. Manfredi.
I would say that Team Spain is not playing like they did with Austria. It's a much better team, well placed in the field.
Once again, it's Quince. He breaks a first tackle. He's eventually taken down on the second effort by number 38 for Italy, Ramiel Mekri, but not before he has brought home 6 more yards, and Spain, Dario, has almost magically found again the key to moving the ball, and they are putting together a very nice balanced drive this time, because it's not all runs. They have also had 2 very good completions.
Team Spain is playing very well on offense. A strong running game, and they are trying to throw the ball. They're throwing a lot the ball, not taking a risk. They just throwing short passes to oblige cornerbacks and linebackers to stay focused on the pass, on the passing routes, and creating some space to work with for the offensive line, which is opening great holes in the box.
As it was the case just now, the short pass went to number 83, Alonso Fernandez. It was a good gain, and it is now an extremely manageable 3rd and 1 from Team Spain. The ball is spotted on the 28-yard line. It is once again another short pass, and it is once again a catch for number 83 with the Italian players that try very hard not to tackle him, and the result, it's a touchdown for Team Spain. Alonso Fernandez, number 83.
Alonso Fernandez broke the initial tackle by Eugenio Mannato, number 22. The guy missed the tackle with a great job by the receiver. Good outside spin move, and another great job by the receiver finding a way to go directly to in the end zone.
I had the impression that Mannato was looking more for the interception than for the tackle, and so he basically missed completely the wide receiver. And then on the second, let's say, portion of the reception, as we will see now in the replay, I have the impression that here Mannato, you see, almost goes for the interception and not for the guy. And right here is what you were talking about. 2 guys, number 48 and number 16 for Italy, try to tackle Alonso Fernandez, but they're not able to bring him down, as he does a very good job to elude their attempts. And the extra point is by Jaime Cuenca is good. So now the score is Spain 10, Italy 7. the advantage for Italy only lasted one offensive drive, as Spain was immediately able to put 7 points on the scoreboard and to, let's say, operate the counter pass on the Italian team. So a game that is also picking up from an offensive standpoint. We have already seen 17 points scored by the two offenses, and we still have 7:15 to play in the second quarter.
Francesco, Coach Gills told us that he wanted to run the ball, but it looks like he also wants to throw this
He only
this
told
ball.
us 50% of the truth. Yes, absolutely. Once again, a squibber by Jaime Cuenca. This time, I believe the ball is picked up by number 83, Alec Magni Baraldi, still up on the 35-yard line. A good return for the Italian wide receiver from the Vipers Modena, only 20 kilometers north on Via Emilia here from Bologna. First down and 10 for Team Italy, ball on the 36-yard line.
And we have another score in the other field in Lunetta Gamberini, Bernardi Stadium. Finland scored a second field goal. Now Finland leads 8-0 versus Norway.
First and 10, Italy. This time, one receiver in isolation, Simone Boni on the left, three wide receivers on the right. Rossi looks right, then looks for Boni on the left. The ball is slightly overthrown. Boni had already passed by the Spanish defensive back. He had only the safety coming in to try and stop him, but the pass is overthrown, incomplete. Second down and 10, Team Italy. Dario.
The revolving door continues in the Italian offensive line. So I can see on the field now the center of the previous game, Previtali, and a new offensive guard in number 73, Vicente Rodriguez.
Good reception this time by Boni that breaks one first tackle, a second tackle. He's still standing up on the 40, and he's finally brought down on the third and fourth attempt from the Spanish team. He's taken down on the 38 for an extremely long gain of over 20 yards for the Italian team. Good connection from Rossi to Boni once again, as it was already the case in the first quarter. You see here, he catches the ball actually 1 yard short of the first down, and then he adds a very good job of fighting off Spanish defenders. Approximately 14 years of yard after catch for Simone Boni. First down and 10 for Italy, this time in the Spanish portion of the field on the 39-yard line. Rossi looks back, eludes Spanish defenders. This time he decides to take the ball, and it's a very good run, a very good choice by Davide Rossi that did not find anybody home. Tucked the ball and took off on the sideline, a gain of 13, and the chain moves again for another first down for the blue team, this time with the ball on the 27 of Spain. Dario, offensive fireworks.
Yeah, now I want to see if Coach Roberto Rotelli has found the way to set his offensive line. It's important, it's fundamental for Italy to
once again back to pass Rossi for Adalberto Rinaldi, touchdown Team Italy! And I was really surprised that we had to wait this long to watch Adalberto score a touchdown, as he is clearly one of the top offensive threats of this tournament. And in a similar catch to the one that he had on the past drive that led to the touchdown by Costanzi. Once again, Adalberto Rinaldi is the deep threat for this Italian team. We will watch it on the replay later. Jacopo Salsa back for the extra point. It is not a fantastic snap, but number 46, Samuele Marotta, is able to take the ball down. Let's watch it here again. Perfect pass by Tommaso Rossi. Adalberto Rinaldi almost has to slow down take the ball in and score. And Dario, it's almost like a Formula One race with these two really fast cars of Spain and Italy passing each other continuously. Italy, once again, back up on the scoreboard, 14-10.
After a first quarter in which we have seen two defenses able to stop the two offenses, now we can see that the two offensive teams are starting to clicking and to alternate passing game, running game, basically a running game for the Spain, and creating some movement of the chain.
As a friend from home told us, yes, good job, I would say, on this drive from the Italian offensive line that kept the quarterback basically clean. Meanwhile, it is number 18, Brian Colome, with a very good return for the Spanish team on the ensuing kickoff. Spain will obtain a very good field position. I believe that the starting spot for the Spanish offense for this drive is will be on the 45-yard line. And Dario, almost like in a good movie at the movie theater, I wish I had some popcorn, because now I'm really curious to see what Spain will come up with to try and remain in this game with their offense that has already shown, as you mentioned, apart from analysis of the differences between the opponents, very good improvements on offense. And this time, very good the defended pass by number 44, Daniele Proietti, that plays on the Fighting Ducks in the Italian third division, the farm team of the Ducks. 18 years, 1 meter 75 per 73 kilogram, and he really needed to stretch out with his left hand, if I'm not mistaken, yes, to basically rob number 85, Esteve Gimeno, of a very good catch that could have easily gone all the way. Good pass by Davide Diego, even better the response by the defensive back coached by Stefano Guerrini. Back to the running game this time for a gain of approximately 4. 3rd and 6 coming up from Spain. Dario, pass or run?
I think pass. I think pass because today Team Spain is not scared about passing, especially in the underneath, on the sidelines, short passes, but with a very high level of efficiency.
I agree completely. I'm looking for De Diego to put the ball back up in the air, and here it is. But this time there is no completion, thanks to the good job by, I believe, Samuele Marotta, that was able to jump up and basically bat down almost like a volleyball spike the ball. So we have the Spanish kicking team back on the field, and I believe this is the first time in the last 4 drives that the drive does not end with points on the board.
This time we can see Simone Boni taking the return duties. Simone Boni shows us that he's on fire today. And he was really not involved in the first game against Denmark, but today has shown speed, burst, and let's check it out, this return.
He picks it up on the 18, he breaks the first tackle, he's still up in the middle of the field. Boni breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and I believe number 5, the punter for the Spanish team, Alex Pacheco, the last man left on the field, is able to bring him down. Dario, your expectations, I guess, were almost exceeded by this really good run back. Let's watch it, let's enjoy it again. He drives by the first guy, he finds a very good corridor in the middle of the field, and the last guy on the field, the punter, Alex Pacheco, brings him down. But Boni basically brought the ball back on this punt 32 yards and gave Italy the ball back on the blue line of midfield. 1st and 10 on the blue line for the blue team. Rossi back to pass once again. He has a man open on the left side, but he decides to roll out, and the pressure of the Spanish front 4 finally gets to the Italian quarterback, Alejandro Fernandez, number 95, 17 years of age, from the Rivas Ossos. Very good job of pursuing the Italian quarterback. Let's watch again now. Number 95 will be coming up. 97 will come up from the bottom side of the screen. It's Iago Rivero on the sack. Very good job from the Spanish team this time. Very good job covering the Italian receivers. So Rossi had to try and buy some extra time. He did initially, but not sufficiently to put the ball up in the air.
Yeah, I think there is too much pressure from outside in the O-line, and Rossi is suffering a bit, so he cannot stay in the pocket, and he had to roll up on the left side. That is not the right one for him, who is a red-sided quarterback.
I can see a defensive line, the 4 guys in the defensive line, they are playing really well. They are strong, they have a strong technique, and they are winning their mismatches almost every time with just a 4-man rush.
Allegretti on the past run. This time it's a pass to Jacopo Salsa, but he basically takes the ball back to the line of scrimmage and no more, where it will be 4th and 10, and where the Italian punting team will come on the field. The referees unfortunately have to call a timeout because I believe number 3, Vincent Gabel, defensive back of 19-year-old from the Wiesbaden Phantoms, is down on the field. Dario.
We were talking about pressure on the line by Team Spain. Yeah, absolutely. They are looking good, they are strong, and they are doing well. Techniques properly set. Probably our offensive line, the Italian offensive line, is actually suffering a bit this movement and the ability to adjust and then find a way to enter the offensive backfield for Team Italy.
I think that today Italian offensive line is suffering basically the technique of the Spanish defensive line. One key point is that if Spain could make pressure with just a 4-man rush, they can allow the linebackers to stay focused on the short routes of the passing tree. So this could complicate a lot the game plan for Coach Lorandi and Coach Scoppetta.
Yeah, absolutely right.
They absolutely need to find a way to fix the offensive line woes today. They're trying to switch the personnel. Now I can see 3 different guys between who have started this game. So we know that is not the best you can do with your offensive line. So the offensive line need a lot to be on time, to be on rhythm, to know each other. So they have to hope they could have found the right 5 guys to stay on the field for a while.
Yeah, if there is a piece of a football team that needs timing, it's offensive line, because they need to understand how to move and how to switch also the positions, because if you are suffering slants or twist or other maneuvers by the D-line, you must be confident that your fellow guy on your side can understand how he must move. So it's something for what you need time to practice, and sometimes it's something missing. But they're trying to do their best. Probably someone of them is suffering some fatigues from the previous week in practicing, and they are actually paying the bill.
Don't forget that these guys are really young. So it could happen that in one game your opponent basically could stay more focused on his strength, on his bull rushing, for example.
Yes.
And in the very next game, your next opponent is more technically sound, with more football move, more defensive line moves, and so there is a lot of difference between one game and another for guys so young and so inexperienced.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will, but they are doing their best, so we are confident that we will have fun later the game.
They have done some good things also today. They just need to find a way to play on a high level for every drive of this game.
Yeah, keep the level always the same along the entire game.
Basically, I can say that for now, with these 5 guys, with this situation, they seems to be better at passing protection. Never mind the last sack we have seen. But basically, they have allowed Rossi to have more time to throw the ball, and we have seen the competition.
Yeah,
let's also say that the hands of the Italian receivers are better today, because I think Rossi was quite. He played really well also against Denmark, and perhaps there were a few too many dropped passes by the Italian offense, often in situations where the catch was not so complicated. Today I'm seeing a much better offensive effort from the Italian team. I believe that the synchrony of the play between the quarterbacks and his wide receivers is quite more evident today. Also the fact that, as you mentioned before, he is distributing the ball a little bit more, and therefore making it more difficult for the Spanish secondary to key on a specific player, because it's true you have Rinaldi deep, but you also have Boni on the opposite side, working maybe a little bit shorter on those 5-10 yard receptions. So it's a big headache for the Italians.
Not to mention, Francesco, that we have they have 2 really good slot receiver or H-backs in Costanzi and number 49, Alessandro Brovelli.
Yes. While we are chatting with these topics, Finland and Norway are still on 8-0. Finland is leading the game. We had a lot of change of possessions. Actually, Finland is having the ball, passing the ball on the 30 yards line. So if you want to watch also the other game, you can make just a quick switch on our platform on YouTube, where you can find all our streamings. But follow us for Italy, Spain, and then on FIDAF TV Facebook you will find some interviews to coaches, players, and backstage personnel that are telling you the story of this wonderful European Championship under 19. Now we have to wait more time to complete the assist time for the Spanish player actually injured. They're taking care of him. So I think our director can send some advertising.
Let's break off with a small commercial time, and then we will come back.
Ecco Elena che lotta per l'ambiente, per la biodiversità, per un sistema di produzione sostenibile che rispetti la terra e chi la lavora. Perché il mondo si cambia con le scelte di ogni giorno. Alce Nero, agricoltori biologici dal 1978. Back live from our timeout. You missed the Italian punt
that was not returned. The ball was spotted on the 22-yard line. I'm sorry, the 17-yard line, and that's where Spain will start its next offensive drive. So Italy was not able to add more points on the board on this last drive. Spanish offense back on the field. 14-10, Italy in front as we are going towards the 2-minute warning. 2:44 to play. Spain has all 3 timeouts. Italy has already burned 2. David De Diego once again ready to lead the Spanish offense. 2 receivers left and 2 receivers right for the Spanish signal caller, but it is a handoff for number 12 Miguel Quince, but he is chased and brought down by Rami El Makri, that today is already garnering a good number of tackles in this first portion of the game.
Francesco, great part of this tackle has to be on the shoulder of Eric Menghini, the nose tackle, with a great penetration. He has basically broken the play of the Spain.
2nd and 11 now for the Spanish team. Once again, De Diego fakes the short pass, and then he goes deep and finds an open receiver, number 80. Matias Castagno finally brought down, but only on the 15-yard line by number 44, Proietti. Very good job, very good job. We will see it in the replay that he had a small shoulder fake on the short portion of the field, De Diego, that froze the Italian defense, and then he went deep and found basically behind number 3, Rocco Zucchelli, his open receive. Ryan Lonzar, number 16, finally on the tackle. There is a flag on the field that came immediately after the Spanish player was tackled.
And the other game is in half-time, actually.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. That penalty is declined. We have personal foul, face mask on the defense. Half the distance to a goal, automatic first down.
So not only the very good offensive play that we have here, the possibility to see once again that basically turns the field over, as Spain was starting from the 20 and now will be very deep into the Italian portion of the red zone, but also 15 yards are added for the penalty, that the personal foul that you just heard from the Italian secondary. First down and goal for the Spanish team, as this last play was also the 2-minute warning for us. The ball is spotted on the 8-yard line. Some little difficulty on the field, as Coach Lorandi has asked for some little coaches meeting to get some more explanations from our crew chief today. Now slowly all the crew is coming towards Coach Lorandi, that probably wants to get something clarified, probably something with concerning the penalty.
Probably it's something about the enforcement of the penalty, because the face mask penalty...
There was a challenge on the actual spot. The actual foul happened at the 18-yard line, but the play ended at the 16. Therefore, we enforced the penalty from the 60-yard line. First and 10, first and goal from the 8. That's the last timeout for Team Italy.
So it was about the enforcement of the penalty, but the ball stays on the 80-yard line, and Team Italy has lost the last timeout.
1:56 to play. Italy out of timeouts. Coach Lorandi was trying probably to figure out the choice from the referees with regard to the position on the field. Now we have a timeout on the field. 14-10 is the score of this very close game. As you heard from Manfredi's voice, 8-0 Finland over Norway is the score in the game at Lunetta Gamberini. We take this occasion to remind you once again that the winner of this game and the winner of the game at Lunetta will meet at 12:30 for the 5th place match on Sunday. Dario, my impression in this portion of the game is that what is really missing for the Italian defense is the blitz system built, I will not say around Calbucci, but it was featuring Calbucci as its main weapon. While you hear the cheering for the crowd because the injured player is now being carried off on the stretcher off the field towards the ambulance. He is absolutely conscient and he's fine, and I believe he's been immobilized simply because it is the procedure when the injuries involve a certain region of the body.
When the guy was laying on the ground, it looked like basically a lower leg injury, but nothing really serious.
First and goal Spain from the 9. It's a handoff to Kinse that trips over his own lineman when he was probably already, his mouth was watering because he had a clear path to the end zone, but he tripped over his own offensive lineman, and there is almost no gain on this play from Spain. 2nd and 9 as Spain once again is looking, or at least trying to run the ball inside. 4 wide receivers left, 1 wide receiver right. Empty backfield for David De Diego. Let's see if it's now Kinse that was lined up. Kinse was lined up as a receiver and then was in motion. We have a flag from the line judge. There's probably some movement before the snap.
Full start on offense, 36, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
And as it is the case, it will now be 2nd down and goal from the 14-yard line from Spain that still has a minute 12 and 3 timeouts to operate with. Same formation, 4 wide receivers on the left with number 12 Miguel Kinse, that is in reality the running back, now coming back in motion. And once again, I think one of the 3 external wide receivers moved for Spain. At least that was my impression. Let's hear the call from the ref. Dario, this play is costing a lot to Spain.
I don't know if it's some sort of intentional going backward for having more space to operate with some kind of running routes, passing routes. No, just kidding. Spain is doing what they have not to do. They are losing space without a reason, without making Italy having to do anything.
I believe.
Full start on the offense, 85, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
And as we just mentioned, it's 5 more yards back for the Spanish offense. Second and goal from Spain. Once again, the shoulder fake, and once again, the open man in the end zone. I believe that flag is a pass interference for the Italian team. The ball is caught by number 88 for Spain, Luis Moreno. Let's wait for the call.
Here the sideline is complaining
for an offensive pass interference, I believe.
Yeah, and also because the ball
Pass
was
interference
long.
on the defense, number 24. We are going to go to 2-yard line, automatic first down.
At the very end, it was not a complete pass.
Pass interference on the Italian defense. Ball is spotted on the 2-yard line. First down and goal for Spain on the 43-yard line. Evidently, as Dario just mentioned, we did not pick that up on the replay, but the ball was caught, but probably not inside the field.
Out of bounds, by the way.
It's a run up the middle for the Spanish team that, at least from the initial signs of the referee, does not look to have made it inside the end zone. I see the spot somewhere after the 1-yard line, and then, as you just saw, we have a flag going sky high and then back down onto the field. So more yards being added. I see number 55 from Italy that is being restrained and pushed out of the field. I would have the tendency to think that Eric Menghini will be the guilty party of this foul, but of course this is just the impression. You see that he's being reprimanded by Coach Lorandi.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on defense, number 55. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
So as usually happens when we can find a player screaming without the helmet in the middle of the field, there is a sportsman.
He's done something wrong.
Probably between the trenches, it happened a little too much.
Or maybe he suffered some kind of a hit, and of course referees often see, let's say, the retaliation, which is normally why you should never retaliate in these cases. Meanwhile, we have some more difficulty, as this is the longest last minute of play in the history of
So this penalty was about just half a yard, and just one down, first down instead of the second. But so close to the goal line, half a yard could be a lot of a penalty.
So the discussion is over. The time on the clock says 30 seconds to play. First and goal again for Spain. This time 4 wide receivers, 2 left and 2 right for David De Diego. The handoff is to De Diego himself. Very good defensive play by number 54, Ariel Natale, linebacker from Rhinos Milano, that does not fall for the fake handoff operated by De Diego, and finalizes his play with a very good open field tackle.
That's their first team timeout.
He actually takes the Spanish quarterback back down on the very line of scrimmage. So it will be second down and goal. 22 seconds to play, Dario, and Spain that obviously needs to call a timeout in order to stop the clock.
Team Italy has shown on defense in the last game and also in this one the tendency, the ability to show up when pushed in their red zone. So they have a really good goal line stand, but there are 3 more downs for Team Spain and a very short field. I can understand the choice of the Spanish offensive staff not to rely a little bit more on the runs. Italy is still showing a 3-man front in goal line defense with a very wide alignment of the defensive ends.
It's basically inviting a run from the Spanish team that, as
you're really right, but with a so short way to do for scoring the touchdown, I think that why not to try? It's just second down. And
similar formation to the one that we saw before, with Miguel Quince right behind David De Diego. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right for the Spanish quarterback. This time the ball is to Miguel Quince, that I think found a small gain, but not the end zone. In fact, the referees are signaling the spot on the half yard.
Team Spain.
And now Dario.
Second team
I
timeout.
think that that's why I'm not an offensive coordinator.
Dario, here the timeout is going to be a trick play, I think. There's a lot of movements on the Spanish sideline, adjusting things. The offensive coordinator is talking to head coach Marcos Girlos, trying to give directions and to approach it the best way possible for them. This opportunity with the ball on the 3-yard line. From my position, I'm not really able to see it.
It's actually it's almost a half-yard line. It's somewhere a little bit less than 1 yard. It's a third down, and
Wow.
Spain still has 11 seconds. So and one timeout. So probably Spain can try whatever play their coach wishes to try and still stop the clock and then decide if they want to go again for the end zone or if they will look for a field goal. 11 seconds to play in the second quarter. Italy still in front, 14-10, and Spain on a third and goal. Similar formation to the one used before. Once again, Quince once again looks for the side, pushes, and was initially kept out of the end zone by Daniele Proietti, but then on a second effort is able to lower his head and enter the end zone. Touchdown for Team Spain. 4 seconds left to go, and Team Spain, that once again the Formula One vehicle of Team Spain passes in front of the Italian vehicle with the score 16-14 for Spain, as we wait for Jaime Cuenca and his very strong leg to try the extra point. Flag in the back of the Spanish formation. I see
Net
12
ball.
players on the field.
Substitution infraction. 12 men on the field on defense.
Yes.
Half the distance to the goal. Still extra point.
Francesco, no trick plays, just a regular off-tackle run, a great second effort by a guy who is just 64 kilograms.
Must be a guy with a very big heart, because also he was the most effective offensive player for Spain also in the loss against Austria. The kick is up. It looks to be good from here. Let's wait until the signal. Arms up from the referees, and we will probably go to the locker rooms with the score. Here it is again. Very good job by Miguel Quince. We have mentioned his name so many times. As you mentioned, 1.69 meters for 64 kilograms, 19 years for Miguel Quince.
Francesco, I can imagine a squib kick. Probably Coach Gills doesn't want to take any risk. He doesn't want to get the ball in the hand of Magni Baraldi for the return and take the risk of a successful return to the touchdown. So probably we will see a squib kick on the Italian second level of return.
Yes, I think that also in consideration of the 4 seconds on the clock, they want to make sure that there is not much, and in fact it is a kick that lands approximately on the 20. Alec Magni Baraldi is looking for the right sideline. Now he inverts the direction of his return. He is still up. He is still looking for a sideline. there is a flag that comes down, and normally when there's a flag on this type of play, is some illegal block of the returning team.
And that's why exactly you don't want to see with a skip kick, with a squib kick.
During the return, plug in the back, returning team number 48, that penalty is declined, half time.
So the clock shows 4-0. The second quarter is over. Spain goes to the locker room with a 17-14 advantage as the result of a very good touchdown by Miguel Quince from the Guion Mariners of the Spanish First Division of football. We now keep the line as we await for Manfredi's halftime interviews. I see him with Guglielmo Perasole from the Guelfi Firenze, the special team coach. Dario, we were looking at him during our jog through, and he really looks like a member from ZZ Top.
Yeah, he has an amazing bird. I want one.
Manfredi, ask him if he is aware of his similarity to one of the ZZ Top musicians.
I will ask immediately. Guglielmo Perasole with me. They are asking from the stands if you are a member of the ZZ Top musicians group, because your bird look like that one.
I've been asked before. No, unfortunately I'm not. But rather play football and coach football than play music. I'm a horrible musician.
Okay, no, so look like music is not the best for Guglielmo Perasole, but you're a good special team coordinator. The game is close, it's tough. Spain is doing much better than the first game, as was expected. Which is your point of view?
We knew it would be a battle. These guys are not here to, lose, and neither we are. So, I mean, we'll fight. We'll find some adjustments. We have some injuries, but we'll come through.
What are we missing actually in the first half to be leading the game?
A little bit of more connection on offense and more execution on defense and special teams.
Okay, so some details that probably are affecting our scoreboard actually.
Yeah, we're not executing at the top of our possibilities, unfortunately. We're going to go half-time adjustments and see what we can do.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Guglielmo. See you later at the end of the game, okay? Okay, guys, I am trying to catch also a Spanish coach to comment this part, but immediately I have a special guest. We will have some Italian comments of the game. Alle Tattoo, tatuatore di fama internazionale, supporter della nazionale, ci segue da un bel po', è stato con noi anche all'Italian Bowl a Milano, adesso siamo venuti a casa tua a Bologna a fare questa esperienza di questo grandissimo campionato. Come stai vivendo questo momento?
Beh, innanzitutto è incredibile l'affetto che hanno entrambe le tifoserie per le squadre e l'adrenalina che si respira. Stavo meglio 12 secondi prima della fine perché eravamo in vantaggio, però speriamo nel secondo tempo, nel terzo e quarto perché è veramente importante per noi.
Ma sì, in realtà questa è una partita che ci aspettavamo fosse così, perché gli spagnoli dopo lo schiaffo preso dall'Austria non ci stanno, giustamente, anche se sono stati chiamati alla fine a supplire l'Olanda che non si è presentata, vogliono far bella figura e ci sta. I nostri stanno soffrendo qualche infortunio, qualche momento forse di calo emotivo, però che la partita fosse dura, ma poi il football è sempre così, non c'è mai nulla di definito.
Quello è verissimo, e poi c'è un caldo incredibile, l'orario sicuramente non è dalla loro parte, però sono veramente atleti duri, strong, e vogliamo vederli combattere fino alla fine.
Grazie Ale, io vorrei che tu ti girassi un attimo per far vedere dietro la maglia che porti il nome del tuo brand, onori in questo modo i colori dell'Italia, grazie, possiamo ridare il volto alle telecamere, grazie Ale. Ragazzi, vi cedo la linea, vado nel frattempo a prendere i nostri amici spagnoli.
Grazie Manfredi, e allora approfittiamo per dare qualche statistica, in particolar modo abbiamo primi down 5 per l'Italia e 11 per la Spagna, le yard corse sono soltanto 4 su 7 portate per l'Italia, mentre sono 19 portate per 76 yard per la Spagna. Passing yards 8 su 14 per 141 la Spagna, 7 su 12 per 111 l'Italia. Manfredi.
Thank you very much. We have Javier here coaching Team Spain, one of the assistants for the Spanish team. We will give a couple of words in Spanish, then we will switch to English so we can cover all our international skills. Bienvenido otra vez aquí con nosotros. Nos da mucho gusto verte otra vez. Se prevé un partido duro y al final es un partido duro con puntos cerrados. Estamos 17-14 al marcador. Y España ha sido derrotada por Austria, pero es otro equipo, otro partido, es todo diferente.
Sí, lo comentamos con los... Bueno, lo primero, muchísimas gracias, es un gusto estar aquí. Lo comentamos con los chicos al final del partido, que la derrota de Austria dependía de ellos, si iba a ser un toque de atención para el próximo partido o iban a agachar las cabezas y dejar de jugar. Y ya los chavales, bueno, contra Italia siempre esto es duelo de Mediterráneo y es un cruce de carácter, a ver quién lo quiere más. Y los chavales, tanto Italia como España, se están dejando la piel en ello y estamos aprovechando los errores de Italia y Italia está aprovechando los nuestros.
Sí, tenemos derbis, uno mediterráneo aquí y tenemos otros de parte escandinava porque tenemos noruegos contra finlandeses que están jugando. Ahora, para que todo el mundo lo sepa, Finlandia está ganando en el halftime 8-0 y que nos interesa porque los resultados del partido son cruzados. Está muy bien. Muchas gracias. We can switch in English just for our international friends for the short comments. So thank you for being us. It's a tough game, it's a close game. Actually, my stats are not the best updated, but Francesco Porcello gave us before some numbers. Probably Spain is doing a bit better in terms of total offense, but details and mistakes are making the difference. Actually, even the score is 17-14.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me here. We spoke to the kids about the loss against Austria and what it's going to be, if they're going to stand up or they're going to kneel. But the kids are making a good effort. We having some mistakes. Same as the Italian team, they having some mistakes, and we both taking advantage of it. We hit it. Both teams we hit it right in the mouth, and we're just having a really good football game.
Yeah, for sure. So the second half was going to be exciting again, and with a so close score, and every team wants to approach the best final possible for Sunday. So what do you expect for both teams?
For the second half, I expect like a really strategic game. Like for example, I don't expect like Italy or Spain making some crazy plays. I expect to overthink what plays are making, and same on defense. I expect a really hard and physical game, but so smart playing.
So time consumption can be something to be checked, because if you have the ball and you have the possession, you can consume time, and the game can be over in a shorter time.
Yeah, absolutely. And time possession is going to be a matter of fact in this game. Same as Spanish team, we run the ball in the first half, and Italian team run the ball in the first half, which consume a lot of time and let us short amount of time in the second part of the first half. So I expect the time of possession of the ball is going to be a really hard fact for the second half.
Thank you very much to stay with us for your time, and good luck for the second part of the game. I will release the line to you actually, and we'll be back soon on the stands. Thank you, and watch the second half with us.
Thank you. Back to our analysis of the statistics. 11 first down for Spain, 5 for Italy. Rushing, 19 for 76 Spain, 7 rushes for only 4 yards Italy. 8 for 14 and 141 yard passing Spain, 7 for 12, 111 for Italy. This goes to a total of 33 offensive plays for 217 yards Spain, only 19 offensive plays and 115 yards for Italy. We were asked from our friends at home the penalty situation. 4 penalties for 20 yards Spain, 8 penalties for 42 yards Italy. Time of possession almost double, 15 minutes and 32 seconds Spain, 8 minutes and 28 Italy. Dario.
Looking at the individual stats, we can see that about passing, De Diego for Spain is 8 on 13 for 141 yards and 1 touchdown. On the other side, Rossi is throwing 7 for 12 for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. At receiving, the receiving leader for Team Spain is Castaño with 2 receptions for 71 yards, but the only touchdown scored by passing by the Spain has been scored by Fernandez. On the other side, the leading receiver for Italy is Rinaldi with 2 receptions for 56 yards and 1 touchdown. At rushing, Kins is leading Team Spain with 40 carries with a net gain of 69 yards, 1 touchdown with a very good 4.9 average. On the other side, just 3 net yards for Trenconi and for Allegretti for Team Italy. About defense, Manero is leading Team Spain with 3 total tackles and 1 sack. On the other side, El Mecri is leading the Italian defense with 6 total tackles, 1.5 for loss.
As we remind you that Cuenca opened the scoring with a field goal in the first quarter. Costanzi scored a touchdown at the beginning of the second. Fernandez caught a touchdown from De Diego. Rinaldi caught a touchdown from Davide Rossi. And Kinse took the ball in on a 1-yard run with 4 seconds remaining. And the score, 17-14 Spain. We break for commercials.
Ecco Elena che lotta per l'ambiente, per la biodiversità, per un sistema di produzione sostenibile che rispetti la terra e chi la lavora. Perché il mondo si cambia con le scelte di ogni giorno. Alce Nero, agricoltori biologici dal 1978.
Qualunque oggetto, anche il più comune, può diventare un serio pericolo se usato in una maniera sbagliata. Sono più di 36.000 gli incidenti causati dalla distrazione. Mandare un semplice messaggio o rispondere a un'email mentre stai guidando l'auto può mettere in pericolo la tua vita e quella di chi ti circonda. Quando guidi, guida e basta.
RDS insieme a te. Voglia di grandi eventi.
Diversi terreni, diverse condizioni e difficoltà non ci fermano. Una vera squadra è quella che si mette in gioco, quella dove si combatte, non ci si arrende, dove si suda per farci trovare pronti alle sfide del futuro. Quando cresci, lo fai con la squadra, fianco a fianco, insieme. Insieme è perfetto.
well blocked. Hi. Welcome back to our friends as Spain kicks off to Italy. It's Boni in the backfield picking up the ball at the 20. He's still up at the 20, at the 25, at the 30. He's still up. He still breaks a series of tackles. And once again, as it was mentioned during the first portion of the game by my partner Dario Grippa, Simone Boni, it's a difficult player to bring down. First down Italy. First down for the blue team that will start operations in this third quarter of play with a first down and 10 from the 32-yard line.
Francesco, Simone Boni has a great nose for the big games, for the big plays. He has shown it in the Italian second division with the Milano Rhinos. He's showing the same thing here in Bologna with the blue team.
Davide Rossi from the Panthers Parma, black on the field to lead the Italian attack for the second portion. It is a pass to number 49, Alessandro Brovelli, for an Italian first down as he catches the ball and carries it on the other side of the field. First down and 10 for Italy from the 48-yard line of the Spanish portion of the football field. Good connection, as you saw also in the replay, between Davide Rossi and Brovelli. This time the ball is caught by Boni, and the end result is the same as the play before. First down, Team Italy. That seems, Dario, to have started this first quarter with this third quarter with a different, let's say, approach to the game.
Yeah, probably Coach Lorandi has screamed a little bit in the locker room in the halftime. We are looking at quite different Italian team. They're more focused, more aggressive. They want to throw the ball. Let's check it out how the third quarter will shake.
First and 10. This time it's a run also to keep the pass defense of the Spanish team honest. It is a run for a very small gain for Tommaso Tenconi that has not found his footing in his running game yet in this game today, Dario.
Today Italy is quite refusing to run the ball. Just 3 rushes for Tenconi. This one was the fourth. Not a lot of yards gained, so they're just focused on the passing game. And is a drop by Rinaldi. Rinaldi has shown great things, great hands during the last game and the first half of this one, but this time probably was more focused on searching the way to get some yards after the catch.
Perhaps the easiest pass to him today became an incompletion as he started
too easy.
Yes, too easy. So once again, 2 receivers left and 2 receivers right. Pistol formation for the Italian team. Rossi takes the handoff, rolls out right, looks for Adalberto Rinaldi, and a flag comes down. It should be pass interference on number 25 from Spain, Lucas Macero, that was trying to plead his case with the referees that the ball was not actually receivable. In fact, you see the Spanish players mimicking the gesture of the hand over the head. That is normally the call when the ball is not, the throw is not actually, the reception is not possible.
It's a close call, Francesco. The ball was not perfect on the target, but it also was not too far from the receiver.
In fact, there is a very extended discussion between the referees, and now they will inform the crew chief of the decision. Here it comes.
We have pass interference on defense, 42. Automatic first down at the spot of foul.
So you heard the call from our referee. It is a pass interference that, as we use the collegiate rules, it only results in a loss of yards, a fixed loss of yards, and not a spot foul as it is in the NFL. Once again, Rossi fakes it, looks in the end zone for Boni. That gives for an instant the impression of a really nice catch in the left side, in the left corner of the end zone. But the ball was just a little bit too deep for him. If we are able to see perhaps even later the replay on this play, Italy came really close to scoring the touchdown that would have brought them once again ahead in this game. Instead, it will be 2nd down and 10 for the Italian team. Ball on the 23-yard line of the Spanish portion of the field, Dario.
Yeah, Italy is moving the ball by the air. Simone Boni was close to the reception. This time he can receive the screen pass and gets the first down on the 11-yard line, going out of bounds on the 11-yard line. Another nice job by Simone Boni. Good hands, reliable receiver.
Good job by Boni that was able to close the first down. Now the referees are verifying if there is sufficient space for another first down for Italy. There is. The ball is spotted on the 11-yard line, so Italy can actually make it to the 1 and have a fresh set of downs. The referees, meanwhile, call time. I believe a timeout was called on the field.
Timeout. Team Spain. That's their first team timeout.
Dario, your impressions on this first portion of the offensive drive for Italy?
Francesco, Italy has got off the locker room with a new mindset. They look focused, they want to score, they want to move the chain. Team Spain probably is just need to get again focused on the field, on the game. Now they are playing a little bit sloppy. They cannot create their mismatches in the defensive line. They are playing probably too loose to the Italian receivers, allowing them to get speed after the catch. And when these guys, the Italian guys, got their speed, their full speed, are really hard to tackle, hard to get down.
Teams breaking out of the huddles for the timeout. Italy first down and 10 from the 11-yard line, and Italy once again inside the red zone and threatening to put more points on the scoreboard in what has been a very well fought and even matchup between these two Latin teams today. Flag on the play as number 49 for Italy, Alessandro Brovelli, finds the corner of the end zone, pending the penalty. Dario, what was your impression?
Probably the cutback block by the wide receiver happened too early when the ball was still in the air.
Job block on the offense, number 73 and 63. 15 yards penalty, repeat first down, there's no score.
I was wrong. The penalty was all on the offensive line. The two offensive linemen blocked, one over the waist and the other one below the waist. So this is a dangerous situation for the defender and is always flagged.
Riccardo Previtali from the Italian multi-champions Simen Milano, the guilty party in this situation. Riccardo is a very good player, but he has now put Italy in the difficult situation of having to play a first down and 25 yards. Ball on the 26. Rossi back to pass, finds Boni. Boni with the good catch. He keeps his feet in bound. Obviously, at this level of play, only 1 foot is needed. Definitely a reception for Italy, or at least it was my impression. Dario, I apologize. I should never assume.
It was our impression, but not the headlinesman's one. So they signaled very early that it was out of bounds. So second and long for Italy.
So second down, still 25 yards to go. Ball spotted again on the 26-yard line for the blue team. Once again, receivers on both sides for Rossi. The looks again for Brovelli, but he's picked off by number 25 for Spain, Lucas Macero. Something was wrong in the timing between Rossi and Brovelli, and the ball was overthrown and really impossible for Brovelli to reach.
Francesco, we have seen a great job by Macero and Minguez, the free safety, number 42, switching the receiver at the beginning of the switching of the routes of the two receivers. So it was supposed the Macero to follow Rinaldi in the middle of the field and allowing the other receiver, I think it was Brovelli, to get a clear route to the corner. The two defensive backs have done perfectly their switching of competence, and the result is an interception.
And let me add, very well run the pattern towards the ball by Lucas Macero, almost like a wide receiver. He looked like the wide receiver on that play because he really looked for the ball coming, completely lost interest in the player, focused on the ball, and came up with a very good interception for the Spanish team that now has the ball in a very difficult field position on the 2-yard line, and the clock is down to 0. I don't know if Spain was able to call a timeout on this play, otherwise...
Delay of game, offense number 1, half the distance to go.
Great poise by De Diego at quarterback. He elected to get a penalty, get a delay of game, because it's basically no loss of yards because they're too close to the goal line. So great job by this young guy, just 18 years old, but decision making very smart, very sharp in this situation. Francesco, you agree?
Probably yes. It's less than a yard, and it's better than burning a timeout in this situation. It will still be second and a little more than 10, even though the field position is really difficult for the Spanish team. Typical middle run, inside run, sorry, for the Spanish team. Very small gain. Basically, what was lost on the penalty was gained back on this run, as the Spanish team is just trying to get as far away as possible from the back of their end zone. This time, it will be a second down and 10 from the 2-yard line. Three receivers right, one receiver left for De Diego, that this time tries with the pass. He had an open receiver, number 81 for Spain, Jorge Garcia. but the ball was badly overthrown by the Spanish quarterback, and in fact lands directly out of bounds, really with no possibility for the Spanish player to actually try and catch the pass.
De Diego heavy pressured by Pogliatelli, number 51, defensive end from Firenze Guelfi. Nice job for him making pressure in the end zone. De Diego had to throw the ball away in the direction of the first receiver available.
And now a difficult moment for Spain, because they have a 3rd down and 10 and they need yards to clear up some space for their punting team. So they definitely need to at least gain 3 and 4 yards in order not to put the punter in the back of the end zone.
Offense, number 1, half the distance to the goal.
And for the second time in the same drive, De Diego elected to get a flag for delay of game instead of wasting a timeout.
I am not so sure, because this time he was it's a 3rd down, and so he has a lot of.
But I've seen him watching the game clock and asking for to stay focused to his team. He said, wait, so probably it was something he wanted to do.
I really would not imagine what he's trying to do, but it's anyway, 3rd and 11, it's a pass again, it is incomplete, and now the Spanish punting team will have a very daunting task, which will be to kick the ball off basically from the back of the end zone.
It will be very hard, because you need to lower a lot your long snap. Is now no more than 8-9 yards instead of 14. The feet of the punter are very close to the safety limit.
So any type of bad snap can result, yes, in a...
Not only a bad snap, but also a bad step by the punter could result in a safety.
As it has been often the case in the second quarter.
Dead ball.
It is
delay of game. Offense, number 5, half the distance to goal. Still 4th down.
Dario, maybe Pacheco was too uncomfortable having 2 yards off the end zone. No, but actually the only thing that I can think of is that they're trying perhaps with some hard count or some particular form of snap to draw the Italian defense into a penalty, but the Italian defense has been very disciplined. It's a very short and really weak kick by the Spanish kicker, picked up by Boni, that fakes a motion to the left side and then takes off on the right sideline, and Italy will have a 1st down on the 28 yards of the Spanish portion of the field. I had some doubts with the decisions taken by the Spanish offense in this past drive. Of course, I'm here to do play-by-play and not to coach. So I'm sure they had their good reasons for doing that. But I honestly, personally, would have taken the ball and run it up the middle, even if it was for a gain of 1-2 yards each time, in order to at least arrive to the 6-7 yards and perhaps even try a pass on the 3rd down, maybe.
Outside of the choices of the game plan, it looked like there were a lot of confusion in Spain's offense. Strange, because
Rinaldi once again is the choice for Davide Rossi, and the ball for an instant touches the fingers of Rinaldi's hands, but it is eventually an incomplete pass. We had for an instant the feeling that there was a possibility for Italy to score. It wasn't so. 2nd and 10 from the 28. Dario, one aspect that today is even more evident than in the game against Austria. Italy basically does not have a running game.
Absolutely not today.
And the pass this time is for Costanzi, that takes it on the 21 and breaks a series of tackles all the way to the 15, 6 yards after catch. 1st down and 10 for Team Italy. Dario.
Francesco, I don't know if it's something about a game plan, because usually Coach Lorandi is not the guy that throw away all the running games just because the first 2 or 3 carries didn't work. So probably is something that was planned before the game, not to explore for the first portion of the game the run defense of Spain, probably because they were well coached and they've done not bad against Austria.
1st and 10, swing pass to Tenconi that takes it up, but basically only returns the ball to the line of scrimmage. May have actually lost a yard on the play. 2nd down and long coming up for the Italian team. I would think that with time still not an issue, 7:26, Italy, in case it does not reach the end zone, could really make also with a field goal on this drive, Dario. Should be the minimum result possible for Italy to try and impact this game.
I cannot imagine why not to do that.
And this time, Rossi frees himself from a series of blockers, buys himself some extra time, and then there is this really strange movement by Costanzi that jumps for a ball that was actually not that high. And as they teach you also in basketball not to jump for the ball, this strange movement by our normally sure wide receiver, sure-handed wide receiver, results in a drop and a 3rd down and 10 coming up for Team Italy.
Probably the guy has felt to be closer to the sideline than he was, and he tried in some way to take a step, a jump, to stop and to put the feet on the ground.
Once again, Rossi takes a snap, rolls out to the right, good pressure from the Spanish team, Rinaldi the intended receiver, but the good pressure, the very good pressure in this particular play of number 8, Jules Manero, and number 56, Manuel Elias Lorzing, really do not allow the offensive play, the offensive Italian play to take its normal development, and the Italian quarterback is forced into a pass that definitely was not what he was looking for. The pass is incomplete, it's way short for Rinaldi. 4th down and 10 from the 15, and now Coach Lorandi is probably speaking to his players, and Italy will take a delay of game penalty. Timeout, Team Italy.
Francesco, like in the first half, Team Spain is creating a great pressure on the quarterback with just a 4-man run. This is the key point of this game about Italian offense and the Spanish defense. They're doing the best they can to get more players possible in coverage and to make things more complicated for Davide Rossi.
Of course,
Italy
it's a dream of a defensive coordinator to pressure the quarterback only with the front 4, because it still means that you have all the other 7 available for other duties. Yes,
I don't remember in this game one time in which Team Spain has sent five or more guys in pressure. They don't need to do that for now. Team Italy needs to step up to this situation and to find a way to block these 4 guys.
Well, this is going to be one of the most important plays in the tournament for Team Italy, because after the turnover they are not in the end zone and they have to do something, because, well, it's just 3rd quarter, but it's important to score at this moment. It's
fundamental
Obviously, as you can see from the screen, Italy, after the timeout, has decided to go on this 4th down. It is once again a pass. Rinaldi is the intended receiver, and the ball is a bit too long for Rinaldi, that comes out of the field, and I think he injured himself on the athletic portion of the track of the field.
Also the defender is on the ground.
And exactly, and the Spanish player also, I think, tumbled out of the field together with Rinaldi. 2 players down. Rinaldi is up already, limping a little bit. So is the Spanish player. But the result, the important thing is that the result of the play is an incomplete pass, and Spain has been able to, even though with that bad punt and that bad situation, Italy had a very, very advantageous field position, Spain was able to keep Italy off the scoreboard, maintain the lead 17-14, and will now have a first down and 10.
Francesco, I think that Italian offense is relying too much on the same routes in the red zone, because they're always trying to search for the corners, basically with Rinaldi or with Boni. So now, after the first problems, the Spanish defensive backs are doing a great job containing this kind of routes.
Not a lot of passing over the middle, and Italy did a very good job with some quick passes in the first portion of the game that have sort of been scratched off the playbook by Coach Lorandi. Meanwhile, it is once again back to work Miguel Quince that takes over where he left in the first quarter. A very limited gain this time for him, only 2 yards. Second down and 8 from Spain that has some level of interest in taking some time off the clock, at least for as long as they are in front on the scoreboard, in the score of the game. This time it's back to pass, and it's a short pass on the left side. It really seemed as if the player was disturbed by the sun on this attempt to receive the ball. The number 83, Alonso Fernandez, was the intended receiver that was not able to bring in the ball. And right away, Spain is already looking at a third down and 8 yards to go. Once again, it is a pass. This time, the ball is overthrown, and at least for a moment, I think Daniele Proietti thought about intercepting it. Good job in a defensive, let's say, fashion for Matias Castagno, the intended receiver, that realized that he was not going to reach the ball, so he disturbed the Italian defender that otherwise would have had a clear shot at the interception. And the Italian team that with Simone Boni will once again get the ball back. I would not be surprised, Dario, if on this attempt the punter for Spain, that is once again Alex Pacheco, number 5, will try and punt away from Boni.
He should do, and he tried to do, and with a short but good angled punt, get the ball outside of bound at 50-yard line.
The ball is out at midfield. First down and 10 for the Italian team. Not a lot of time burned off the clock by the Spanish team, only approximately a minute and a half. 6 minutes to play. Everything can still happen in this game. Only 3 points the difference. And the score from Lunetta Gamberini is still 15-0 from Finland, that is maintaining on cruise control the lead in its game.
Francesco, it looked like the Spanish offense has lost the mojo during the halftime. It looked very different with the team we have seen field in the first half. There seems like they're playing without effort sometimes. There is some confusion, some kind of problem at substitution.
Davide Rossi here, a little bit of miscommunication in the Italian backfield. It was obvious from his mimics that the running back was not where he was supposed to be. Rossi did not find anybody to hand the ball off to, closed it and took it himself for a very short gain. 2nd and 9, I agree with you. The starting position of this second half has been always very positive for the Italian team, with the Spanish team that hasn't really moved the ball. Italy has moved the ball a little bit better, but then has come up short every time that it has come close to the Spanish end zone. Another incomplete on that side on Andrea Costanzi. Dario, I'm wondering if the sun is not a factor right now because a lot of passes on that part of the field for both the Spanish and the Italian receivers have resulted in some really uncharacteristic incompletes.
Yeah, probably in this moment the sun is very low on the horizon and on the left side for Italy of the field could be a factor looking at the middle of the field.
Once again, Rossi back to play. Once again, it's a pass for Rinaldi that catches it in between two receivers. Very, very, very mature play by Rinaldi that pushed off the the cornerback that is in fact right now really complaining in a very hard fashion with the crew. Let's watch it here. Rinaldi is a master of this old trick. He pushes with his left arm. You can see it right there. And then he takes that to his advantage because he's extremely tall. Adalberto is 1.92 m.
Personal foul. Hands to the face on the offense, number 61. That's 15 yards penalty from the previous spot. Still the third down.
The reception is nullified by a really bloody penalty by Alessandro Ficcarelli, offensive lineman from the Vipers Modena.
You have an update from the other field. Finland is sealing the game, fourth quarter, and 22-0 leading the Norway.
So it seems as if we already have one team for the 5th and 6th place game and one team for the 7th and 8th place that will take place in Lunetta Gamberini Sunday morning. This game instead still has not a true leader, Dario, if I may say so. Third down and 25, 15 yard for the penalty. It is a trick play. It is number 8, Andrea Serra, and exactly as it happened against Denmark on a similar situation in a third down. Jacopo Salsa was the intended receiver on this Jaguari Torino connection from Serra to Salsa, but
very well covered by number 28, Adrian Garcia, that comes at the very last moment to hide the ball for Salsa. Probably he hasn't tipped the ball, he hasn't deflected, but he has made some kind of disturbed to the Salsa possibility to watch the game, watch the ball.
Serra as a quarterback perhaps could have put a little bit more mustard in that pass that gave the defender the possibility to catch up.
Delay of game. Offense number 5. 5 yards penalty. Still fourth down.
It seems as if the punting teams today have a desire to be penalized, as this is probably the 4th or 5th time that a punting team has been penalized today. Meanwhile, you do not see them on your screen, but the teams from Austria and Denmark are on the opposite sides of the fence watching the game on the field. We remind you that we will bring you live coverage of that semi-final at 9 o'clock tonight. Finally, Salsa puts the ball in the air. It's a beautiful punt that takes also a very good roll for the Italian team. Good return by number 88, Luis Moreno, that then makes a very, allow me the term, stupid mistake, because he throws the ball at an Italian player, and this will be 15 yards definitely for a dead ball foul on the Spanish team. I really did not see if there was a reason for this gesture, but you have to keep concentrated and not cost your team 15 yards. As you can see, the Spanish team is already moving backwards.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct of the returning team, number 88. 15 yards penalty. First down.
Francesco, I'm not sure that he wanted to throw the ball on the opposite player. Probably he just wanted to spike the ball or doing something similar. But the problem is that when you have so much people around you, is always a great problem, because it's too easy to.
Which is why you're always taught from the beginning to just hand the ball back to the ref and get back in the huddle, which is probably why the special team coordinator for the Spanish team will not be happy about the behavior of his player. Italy thanks for this mistake. Spain is back 15 yards. First down and 10. but it is a wonderful run by number 36, Jaime Cuenca, that in just one play takes Spain back on the other side of the field, on the Italian side of the field, and the 15 yards of the penalty, plus a lot more, have been immediately picked up from the Spanish team that just broke through for what was definitely, Dario, their most beautiful offensive play of the second half. Very nice job. I would like to really underline the patience of Cuenca, that waited for his blockers, looked for the sideline, waited until the blockers were in position, then he turned the corner and he took the ball all the way to the 47-yard line of the Italian half of the field. Some movement on the Spanish portion of the field. I think it's a false start on the offense.
Ricordo il punteggio 17-14 per la formazione spagnola.
Dead ball, forced out on the offense, number 12. That's 5 yards penalty, still first down.
Team Spain shows that they can move the ball, they can move the chain, but there is still too much confusion in this offense. It's all the third quarter in which we can see a lot of mistakes, individual mistakes, team mistakes, a lot of mistakes, a lot of confusion that there were not here in the first half.
First and 15 for Spain, two receivers on the right, one on the left, but it's once again a handoff to number 12, Miguel Quince, that fumbles the ball rolls around, and number 80, Matias Castagno, is the quickest to realize that the ball is loose and to recover. A very important play, a good break for the Spanish team that recovers the ball. Second down and 8 yards to go, Dario, and similar to the first half of the game, the first quarter is not a high-scoring game, as I believe we only saw the first points of the second half with the Spanish field goal with 4 minutes left in the quarter. This time the pass is for the player that recovered the fumble, Castagno, a very short pass on the near side of the field, very well defended by the Italian team for
yeah, the two defenses are doing a good job stopping the offense in this third quarter, like exactly they did, as you mentioned, in the first quarter.
Loss on the play because of the good pursuit of the Italian defense. 3rd and 11 for Spain. Ball on the 48-yard line of the Italian half of the field. Italy showing blitz, and blitz it is, very well read by the Italian quarterback. The pass is incomplete, but an Italian player hits without really a reason late the quarterback. It seemed as if number 65 came in and hit the quarterback. At least this was my first impression, but let's wait for the call. And as you can see, the 15 yards have already been marked.
Roughing the passer on the defense, number 65. 15 yards penalty, automatic, first down.
Filippo Ungari from Rhinos Milano, the defensive lineman, guilty of this penalty. And Dario, in the second half, except for some minor gains on the field, it is the penalties that are moving the ball. Absolutely not as beautiful a moment of the game as the first half was. I personally have not really liked the way the two teams, perhaps they're feeling the weight on the importance of this match. They are not performing well on offense, and the ball really is being moved by penalties. Once again, a handoff on the reverse for Spain. Good gain for the Spanish team. It's depending on the spot, I think it's 6 yards, the gain on the play. Second down and 4 coming up for Spain.
I think that Team Spain has to come back to the basics, come back to running the ball efficiently, for setting the passing game. They've done a good job in the first half with a balanced offense between runs and passes, but now they are still a little bit unbalanced to the pass.
2nd and 4 for Spain. Once again, as you were saying, it is a pass. The ball is up in the air, but there's been a lot of whistling, and probably the penalty is on the offense since the referees have not allowed the play to continue.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. 5 yards penalty, still first down. Correction, second down.
Another penalty against Team Spain, which is really making things a lot complicated for them.
Although also the Italian defense, especially with those 15 yards on that very bad penalty that roughing the passer when Davide Diego was hit by number 65 Filippo Ungari way after he had released the ball. 2nd and 9 from Spain. We are a minute 30 from the end of this quarter with the clock ticking. Once again, quick pass to number 81 that finds an open seam, Jorge Garcia, and this time a very well drawn play by the Spanish team. If we have a chance to have the replay, Dario, let's watch the blocks from the other receivers that actually sprung the Spanish player towards a gain of over 15 yards. Here it is.
I think that the amazing block was by Paul Soto, offensive line. He was not a receiver. No, a really nice job moving his feet to the sideline and blocking Daniele Proietti, the defensive back, creating the space for the big gain.
1st and 10 from the 15 for Spain. Similar play, this time well read by the Italian defense. This time Proietti will not be stopped. He comes around, he tackles the player, but there is a good gain on the play anyway for the Spanish team, a gain of 6 yards. 2nd down and 4, position of the ball on the 14-yard lines, 28 seconds, so this could be the last or second to last play in this nondescript quarter that so far has not brought any points on the board, although Spain is now knocking at the door. This time it's De Diego keeping the ball, looking for the side of the end zone, but he is tackled on the 1-yard line. 1st down and goal coming up for Spain, and 1st down and goal as he went out of bounds. 1st down and goal with 6 seconds to play for Spain. Now the referees.
A well executed play action, and De Diego found a lot of room to run to the sideline on the left side.
This is the end of the 3rd quarter.
The angle from which we're watching the game gave us for a moment the impression, also the fact that after being tackled, De Diego was able to throw himself ahead and touch the pylon of the end zone, but the ball will be spotted on the one. Anyway, it is a very good play for the Spanish team that has the possibility to open up a good lead. If they should score here, there is the possibility for Spain to go up by 10, and in this very close and contested game, a 10-point lead is indeed, Dario, a very large lead.
Starting the 3rd quarter with a 10-point lead could be a nice leg up for Team Spain on this game. Scoring after this 3rd quarter, we can say that scoring scoring twice in just one quarter could be an issue, could be another job to do, especially because in the middle you have to stop the Spanish offense. Spanish offense hasn't done so well in the third quarter, but in the first two has moved the chain very well. So it could be a factor also on the clock for Team Italy to get 2 scores.
I agree also. I had the impression in the final part of the third quarter that the Spanish offense was coming back to life. Anyway, first and goal. It is a handoff to Quince. Breaks a first tackle and lands on his back in the end zone. Touchdown, Team Spain.
Another hard run by Quince in the middle. The guy is really not scared about lowering his shoulder and fighting for his yards.
I can give you a glimpse about the stats after the third quarter. Total offense is 46 plays, 288 Spain, 36 plays, 174 yards Team Italy. Probably one of the key of the game actually is the rushing game by Team Spain.
Jaime Cuenca knocks it through. The score is, I'm sorry, he missed the kick. So it's 23-14. We had the impression that he had hit the goalpost. Let's watch the replay of the touchdown. Dario, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it's Cuenca. Let's watch the number of the player that gets up right now. Yep, it's 86.
It's 36, Cuenca.
Yes, it's Cuenca, the scorer. So sorry to our friends at home. Jaime Cuenca is the scorer. Jaime Cuenca that then missed the extra point, but he brought 6 points home for Team Spain. 9-point lead now, 23-14. Extra point that could come back to haunt the Spanish team because now the lead is 9 points. Spanish fans up and chanting for their team as now they're for the first time today this game sees a score with a distance between the two teams larger than 1 touchdown. So Spain, as we like to say in football terms, has made the break in the sense that there are more than 1 score up on Italy. 23-14, lots of football still to play. 11:55. It is a squib kick touched by an Italian player in the first line of wedge and then recovered by number 66 Lorenzo Aceti of the Lancieri Novara. Very advertently he saw the ball coming out and he decided, as he is an offensive lineman by trade, to just basically fall on the ball and make sure that there were no possibility of turnover on the play.
Well executed squib kick. The kick hit Stefano Lusuriello and become a live ball. But
first and 10. Davide Rossi rolling out on the right, looking for his receiver, number 49, Alessandro Brovelli. The ball is caught, but Brovelli fell in the process of catching the ball, and it is a very small gain of 2 yards. Second down and 8 coming up for Team Italy with the clock running, 11:28 to play.
Francesco, is still early to get in a hurry for Team Italy, but they need to move the chain and to score not fast but not so slow.
Once again, Rossi comes up, this time on the left side. This time the intended receiver is Andrea Costanzi, well guarded by the Spanish secondary in the person of number 40, Eduardo Vallo de Freitas, that was in the area and made the reception difficult for the Italian player. The result is an incomplete. Dario, third down and 8, already a very important moment of the game, a very important moment for Coach Lorandi. Rossi goes back, he has a man deep down the field, number 49 Brovelli, but the pass intended for Alessandro is overthrown and incomplete. 4th and 8 from Team Italy.
And Coach Lorandi decide to kick another punt.
I would agree with him because of the field position, but also because there is still 11 minutes and 8 seconds left. This is also a sign from Coach Lorandi to his defense that he expects to have the ball back. Spain, I'm sure, now with this larger lead, will run more and try to kill much more time off the clock. A good kick by Salsa that takes an Italian roll. The Italian players wait for that ball to end its roll, and then, as it almost always happens, Daniele Proietti to recover it. First down and 10 for the Spanish team on the 27. Manfredi.
This was punt number 5 for Team Italy. Actually, we have an average of 41.5 yards with the longest 47. Probably this is one of the stats that are clearly describing the game by Team Italy, actually. Because even Spain punted the ball 4 times, but in the total offense they have 288 and we have 173.
First down and 10 from Spain, as we mentioned. Ball on the 26. 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left for David De Diego, that, just like we did not expect, throws the ball again. This time the intended receiver is number 85, Esteve Guimeno. The catch is made, but the gain is really limited, Dario.
At the first down, Italy started to be more aggressive, sending 6 men on the rush of the quarterback. For sure they need to create some turnovers, or at least making pressure and making it possible to Spain to go on with the passing game on the short routes.
Second down and 8 coming up for the Spanish team. Motion from left to right, fumble, but once again the Spanish team is very alert to its own turnovers, and De Diego had a little problem with the handoff, but was able to fall on the ball as he already did once in the past, and really avoid a really bad turnover for his team. I am trying, I think it's number 80, Matias Castagno, the player he was trying to hand off to, but he was not able, and the ball landed on the ground, and he himself, De Diego, was able to recover the fumble. Third down and 11 for Team Spain, that does not like something in the way they are set up, and calls timeout.
Team Spain, that's their second timeout.
Team Spain now knows that they need a first down, they need to take the ball, take the possession, and to eat some time from the clock. So with the alignment of the defense, De Diego and the offensive coaching staff of Spain elected better to use one of their timeouts instead of wasting the third down and making the team in a bad position of choice of what about punting or playing the fourth down. Team Spain back on the field after the coaches told them what they have to do with this fundamental and very important third down.
Third and 11 for Team Spain, Dario. As you just mentioned, a very important third down. Spain was...
some sort of confusion defense by Italy. Everyone standing up, former rush.
Good pass downfield. Oh!
No! Fireworks in K-Pro Stadium in Bologna. Amazing reception by Matias Castagno.
But he was really aided in his reception by Pietro Migliori, number 45. Let's watch this again. Castagno has the ball, then drops it back to Migliori, that is not able to pick it up and basically pushes it back ahead.
Amazing job by Castagno to stay focused on the ball, don't give up on this ball and securing it.
Very big third down closed for Team Spain, very big gain on the field. And now it is again Quince carrying the ball for a very small gain.
This could be a game changer, Francesco.
Yes, I think that a play like that really, if your nerves are not really calm and relaxed, can really do some damage to your, especially in this specific moment and with a little bit more than 8 minutes to play. It could be the dagger of this game. Of course, still a lot of time to play for Team Italy. Team Spain 23-14. Of course, we also have to see if Spain is able to come up with more points from this drive, because they have no intention of stopping. It's once again an inside run up the middle by Quince, and as he was going towards the ground, tackled by the Italian team, I had the impression that there was a flag thrown.
Holding on the offense, number 65. 10 yards penalty. Repeat, second down.
Matteo Martin is the guilty party for the Spanish team. It was a second down and 8. It's a 10-yard foul, and now the spot of the ball is on the 42-yard line of the Spanish side, with the first down on the exactly on the 23. So 19 yards now to gain for the Spanish team after this penalty. Motion once again, this time the handoff to the man in motion, number 80 again. Matias Castagno works much better than on the play before. Good gain for the Spanish team that not only regains the original line of scrimmage, but brings also the ball back and makes this a third down and 10 yards to go. I'm sorry, I thought they had gained a little bit more. The spot was not very generous with the Spanish team. 3rd and 10. Motion on the line. Number 62 for Spain seemed to be a little bit early. Kim Haen, the offensive lineman of 18 years from the Badalona Drax, seemed to move early.
But the guy is pointing at Poglietelli, number 51, the defender, to have caused his movement.
Before the snap, false start. On the offense, number 52. That's 5 yards penalty. Still third down.
It was on the offense, the penalty, as we had the impression from also here from the broadcast booth. 5 more yards backwards for Spain, that has picked up quite some penalty yards on this drive, and it becomes a 3rd down and 15 for the Spanish side. The clock, Dario, is going down as Spain is finally able to kill some time off the clock. Spain that is also using the 25-second clock until the last few seconds. This time, sorry, the 40-second clock until the...
It's a 4th down situation, but watching the game clock, watching the field position, probably it will be a punt play.
Yes, I would imagine that you would not risk here missing a field goal and giving a good field position to Italy. I think Spain will bring in number 5, Alex Pacheco, with the task, the clear task to angle this punt.
I was thinking about playing the 4th down.
I think he will look for one of the 2 corners, which is not what he was able to do. But number 18, Brian Colome, does a very good job on the special team and is able to catch the punt from Alex Pacheco before the ball is actually able to roll on the ground. First and 10 for Italy, 5:44 to play. This is the most important drive of the game for Team Italy, because if there are no points coming out of this drive, Spain will win this game today, Dario. First down and 10 for Team Italy. Ball on the 12-yard line. Rossi looks to play and finds with number 12, Matteo Mozzanica, wide receiver of the Scorpions Varese. Good catch by Mozzanica on the sideline, but he does not step out of the field, which is something probably he should have tried to do. 6-yard gain, second down and 4, clock ticking, 5:22 to play. And Dario, I would have to think that Italy has to start looking for something a little bit more downfield in a short time.
But there is an interception, number 42.
And he is able to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Team Spain. Touchdown, number 42. Hugo Minguez, defensive back of the Las Rosas Black Demons. Dario.
Francesco, let me disagree with you with the fact that Italy has to throw the ball a little bit more and exploit the deep of the field.
Let's watch the replay from our broadcast team of this interception that basically closed our game today. It's a pick 6 for Spain. Not only Italy suffers an interception, but Italy also suffers 6 points scored by the Spanish defense. Score is 29-14, and the kick is blocked by number 83 for Italy, Alec Magni Baraldi. The blocked kick is picked up by Eugenio Mannato, but he stepped out of bounds around the 30-yard line. A few flags on the field. Let's hear what the crew's decision is on this penalty. I was not able to pick up maybe some block on the.
Usually in this turnover situation, it's quite easy to see some kind of block below the waist.
Players that are not used to actually.
Extra point is no good. Dead ball. Late hit. Spain, number 65. 15 yards penalty will be applied on the kickoff.
So we have 15 yards that will be enforced after the kick. So Spain will now kick off from the 20 instead of the 35.
So everything is ready for the kickoff. Bad situation for Italy, down by 15 points. They need to score fast, they need to get back the ball. Is 5.04 on the clock. Nothing is really ended, but they really need to step up and step up fast. We see Simone Boni ready to return, gets the ball, search for some space to return, spins around, spins to the sideline, but is stopped on the 42-yard line.
Good return by Boni, while we have an injured Spanish player on the 45-yard line. First and 10 Italy, 4:57 to play. Ball on the 43-yard line. A Spain that has doubled Italy, as now the score reads Spain 29, Italy 14. the refereeing crew has called a timeout to allow a technical timeout to allow the medical team to pay attention to injured player. Meanwhile, we watch again the great skills of Simone Boni. Really slick and difficult to bring down. Normally, the first guy that comes close to him is not the guy that brings him down. A good play today for Simone, but obviously not enough, as Italy, Dario, is trailing now by a consistent margin of 15 points. In reality, it's still a 2-touchdown game, but honestly, if Italy was an air balloon, it was really deflated by the pick six. At least that is the impression I have had. I'm sure Coach Lorandi will make sure that his players fight until the end. Meanwhile, Manfredi, please update us on the score from Lunetta Gamberini.
Lunetta Gamberini, look, Norway is actually 0 like before, and Finland is still in the game definitely with 29 points on the scoreboard. So Finland leads 29-0. Team Norway, we are at the end of the fourth quarter.
Meanwhile, we have a change in the quarterback position. Raven Phoenix, number 98, quarterback of the Rhinos Milano, is now the signal caller for the Italian team. Dario, not an orthodox quarterback in terms of way of play and aspect, but he is a player that brings the game home more times than not. And we've had the pleasure to watch him play and win the Silver Ball of the Italian League and actually receive the MVP at the end of that game. So definitely Raven knows how to play football.
Yeah, the guy in the first two plays are showing great poise in the pocket. The first attempt, he had a defensive end in his back, but he stayed with his eyes downfield, and also with this completion
to Brovelli. Now third down and 4. Good pass by Raven. He finds number 12, Matteo Mozzanica, open on the left side. First down and 10 for Team Italy, 4:23. Team Italy on the ball for this first down with the clock approaching the 4 minutes. There is pressure to bring down the Italian quarterback, and finally number 57 from Spain is
56, I think, is always Lorzing. Lorzing has played an amazing game today.
He has,
with all this group, this defensive line, he has done a great job making a lot of pressure with just 4 guys.
And he has taken a permanent residence in the Italian backfield today, Lorzing. I agree. He has played a really good game. He's been one of the top defensive players in this game. I don't know if we can look into his stats at the end of the third quarter. I don't think he has made a lot of tackles, so maybe we will not.
I think
Manuel Elias Lorzing.
No, he's not account for a lot of tackles, but the intangibles, the pressure he has done, and is not taken
his
by the statistics
presence,
at this level. So we cannot know how many hurries, how many pressures he has made to the quarterback, but watching the game, his impact was really huge tonight.
Was absolutely, yes, he was the entire afternoon harassing the Italian quarterbacks. Second down and 14 after the sack, so a loss obviously for the Italian team. 2 receivers on the left side, isolation on the right side for number 83. Clear here the pass interference by the Spanish defense. Alec Magni Baraldi was the intended receiver, pushed away from the ball from the Spanish secondary. The ball ends up in the hands of the Spanish players that are able to pick off the pass by Ines, but I think that this will come
Pass
back
interference
as number 33
on the
for
defense,
Spain,
number 33.
Pelayo Barredo.
15 yards penalty, automatic. First down.
It wasn't really a pass interference, it was more a tackle interference on the...
Yeah, it's impossible not to call this penalty.
So the chain moves, the 15 yards are enforced, and it is a first down and 10 for the Italian team. Spot of the ball, the 32-yard line. Sorry, 10 yards are enforced. Spot of the ball, the 32-yard line, and the automatic first down for the Italian team. Ines, once again, a bad snap. He eludes two players from Spain trying to tackle him and finds Rinaldi open under the shade of the goalposts for a touchdown. Great poise, great job by Ines that was able to free himself.
That's why you put Ines in the game. The guy has ice in his veins. It's quite impossible not to see him taking his team by hand and taking it to the goal line.
Good job by Ines, good job by Rinaldi on the second score today. Italy on the extra point to make this a 8-point game. The score is 29-21.
So Italy has a real possibility for a comeback, but the clock now it could be a factor.
3:37 and one timeout for Italy to operate. Manfredi.
We have one finalist team. Team Finland beat Team Norway 29-0. The game is over in Lunetta Gamberini. So those 3 minutes will give us the second finalist for the 5th place final Sunday morning.
Dario, obviously I cannot be but extremely happy that another team with impossible names to pronounce comes to our side of the scoreboard and comes here to play. Apologies, because they will remain in Lunetta Gamberini.
For God's sake, they stay there.
For the sake
it's a problem for our colleagues.
Yes, for the sake of the ears of our friends from home, you don't want to hear us trying to pronounce Finnish names. Anyway, apart from my bad joke, congratulations to Team Finland that reaches the 5th place game that will be played Sunday morning in Lunetta Gamberini, and so Finland is now waiting for the winner of this game, Italy, that has clawed back into the game. It's still an 8-point game.
It's time for an onside kick, probably.
And an onside kick it is, but it is stopped initially from one Spanish player and then eventually downed and covered by Alex Garcia, number 14. Spain will get the ball close to
it
midfield.
was unclear to me if it was a bad kick, onside kick, or some kind of squib kick made for causing a fumble. Probably the second, because it was really too deep in the field for having being an onside kick.
Dario, my limited knowledge of the kicking game, I don't have a specific name for that type of kick. So
5 yards penalty will be applied at the end of the run.
I would have to say that the offside signals some kind of willingness from Italy to try and recover the ball, so it must have been a poor onside kick. Otherwise, it would be a really bad penalty to take on a normal kickoff, the offside from the kicking team. Anyway, the 5 additional yards have been tacked on the field. The ball is on the 46-yard line of the Spanish side of the field. Spain 1st and 10 with the clear order to kill time off the clock. It is a handoff for number 80 that finds the left sideline. He gains a first down and a lot more, and eventually ends up out of bounds on the 23-yard line. Very good Matias Castagno here in his role as the ball carrier. Dario, only one play and Spain has already put itself in the position to actually kick a field goal and close the game once and forever. Meanwhile, Andrea Poglietelli down on the ground on the 45-yard line, attended by the Italian medical team. Dario.
Francesco, Castagno could be in the hunt also for the MVP award tonight, because he's not only the receiving leader for Team Spain, but in the second half has started to run the ball with 2 or 3 end arounds, gaining a lot of yards, giving the momentum to Team Spain. And this run especially could be really useful or fundamental for the economy of the game for Team Spain.
We just received the ballots and we had the possibility to vote for the MVPs of this game, and in agreement with what you're saying, I had a little difficulty choosing someone because both teams today have played in terms of team effort, so a lot of good performances by a lot of players, but not a specific player that basically sticks out in my mind. A lot of players that have, let's say, brought something in favor of their team. Here we have the chance to watch once again Ines. A first man tries to get him, and it's still the same person, number 89, that almost has him in the grasp twice, Juan Daniel Guedes, but Ines keeps calm and composure, looks downfield as Rinaldi open in the middle of the end zone, and completes the pass for a touchdown. That has brought us to the score, to the present score, 29-21. The pick 6 making the difference right now, as it is an 8-point game between Spain and Italy. I think Poglietelli is able to get up. In fact, you hear the cheering from a very correct, polite and passionate crowd that we had this afternoon here at Arcoveggio, as Poglietelli needs the help of his medical staff to step out of the field. Dario, I think something on his left knee is not working. You are the physio man, so what is your impression?
Probably is some sort of distortion of the knee. I don't want to talk about ACLs or whatever. I hope that is nothing serious and just something that needs a little bit of rest.
Back to the game. Spain has changed quarterbacks. It is now number 16, Carlos Martin, leading the Spanish offense on the field. 3 minutes and 8 seconds to play. Clock ticking. Obviously, Spain will wait until there is only a few seconds. 9, 8, 7 now on the 40-second clock. And now Spain will eventually snap the ball, give it to his running back. It is number 36. Fantastic athletic gesture by Jaime Cuenca. And not only Spain kills the clock, but kills the game with this couple of really good plays. Another Italian player down on the ground at the end of this play. Once again, the crew chief is forced to call a technical timeout in order to allow the Italian medical staff to enter the field.
Francesco, interesting choice by the Spanish coaching staff to change the quarterback in this situation, taking the risk of putting in the game a guy not so hot, probably because he has spent all the game on the sideline. I don't think it's a medical issue for David De Diego, because I have seen him with the helmet on the sideline, staying on his feet, so it's just a tactical choice by Coach Gilles.
That, by the way,
for the first play, it has worked, because probably the Italian guys were expecting for something trickery, and inside run by the Spain has got a lot of yards.
Rocco Zucchelli, the defensive back from the Aquile Ferrara, from the Italian second division, the injured player, seems to be able to step out of the field without any further problems. It is first down and goal from the 5 for Spain and for his quarterback, number 16, Carlos Martin. To go back to your point, Dario, Spain has already used this rotation at quarterback in the game against Austria. We saw both De Diego and number 16 Carlos Martin. So evidently their coach Girles and coach Gil like this idea of offering different looks at the quarterback position. Here is the snap, and it is the quarterback himself. Dario, you were wondering if it was a good move to bring in Carlos Martin, and it definitely was, as he just took the ball on a quarterback keeper and found the end zone for
this solution of play action for inside run, and then QB keeper played as basically an off tackle on the left side, has worked very well for Team Spain tonight. No answer from Team Italy. I think that is at least the second score they have made with this kind of play.
Only 10 attempts for 5 yards at the end of the third quarter for Team Italy, and 100 yards rushing only in the first 3 quarters, and almost 200 passing. So a very interesting development in this game. We were wondering what was the real value of Austria. We had an answer today, because Team Spain, it's on its way.
Touchdown is good. After the ball was dead, unsportsmanlike conduct, Spain, number 16. The 50-yard penalty will be applied on the kickoff.
Francesco, a little bit too much celebration by Carlos Martin this time.
Of course, you can never do the translation game and saying this team has lost to this team by this many points and this team has lost to this other by these many points. But let's remember the 61-7 with which Team Austria took care of the Spanish team, and today Spain has already put 35 points on the board and has taken now what seems really to be an insurmountable 14-point lead. As soon as Italy tried entering back the game with with Rinaldi's touchdown, it was Carlos Martin with this wonderful keeper on the left side that closed the door again and has sent Spain to play Finland in the 5th place game. Good game today by the two teams, good game by Italy, very good game by Spain, that after a phase where the two teams were jostling with the score back and forth, has taken control of this game and has really made a very positive impression this afternoon, Dario.
I agree with you, Francesco. We can say that Spain has done a lot more than Team Italy for winning this game. They have shown more willingness to win this game. For sure they wanted to overcome the big loss we have seen on Monday, and they have done everything they needed to do that, and they have played a really solid game with good numbers, a good poise, just some kind of slowing down in the third quarter, but they came up when they mostly needed in the fourth quarter and sealing this game.
Sorry, onside kick. Squib kick by, yes, I apologize. It is Kinze that touches it sorry, Cuenca that touches it with a very good kick. And it is Matteo Mozzanica, number 12 for Italy, that touches it initially, but then the ball is picked up by Boni, that is able to return it into Spanish field on the 48, but we also have at the center of the field a flag, and it is against Italy.
Personal foul, late hit, Italy, number 28, 15 yards penalty, first down.
Nullified the good return by Boni by this 15-yard penalty. 1 minute, 52 seconds to play. Both teams have a timeout, and Spain is up by 15 with the score solidly in their hands, 36-21. Ines drops back in the pocket, looks on the right for an open receiver, but is attacked by a swarm of Spanish defenders. At least 4 Spanish players, Dario, able to get a hand on the Italian quarterback.
The 4 guys that they've done this amazing job all the afternoon. I really want to point another time because they really deserved this praise. The defensive line for Team Spain has done a lot of things, and a lot of this win is about them.
2nd and 15 for Team Italy. Ines goes back, drops back to pass, looks for number 83, the intended receiver. Once again, Alec Magni Baraldi. The result of the play is incomplete. A little contact on the play. Baraldi complaining.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 92, 15 yards penalty, automatic, first down.
As you heard it from the live voice of our crew chief today, 15 yards that Italy took on the kickoff are now going back the other way for this late hit on the Italian quarterback. He does have the tendency to hold the ball up until the last second. In fact, this year during his club play with the Rhinos, he has picked up a lot of roughing the passer penalties against him. Once again, Ines back to throw, escapes the pressure a first time, not a second time. He is brought down by number 8 for Spain, Jules Manero, that together with number 95, Alejandro Fernandez.
Timeout, Team Italy. That's the third and final timeout in
bring
this half.
down the Italian quarterback. I was saying an unorthodox quarterback built for Ravenines, 174 centimeters per 110 kilograms for the Italian quarterback that only has taken a few plays to show us why he is one of the better younger quarterbacks playing in the Italian football. Italy, meanwhile, has chosen to take its 3rd and last time out. Coach Lorandi, together with Coach Scoppetta and Coach Gerbino. So the head coach and a large portion of the offensive staff on the field to provide guidance to the Italian offense for this last portion of the game that is evidently over from a scoring standpoint. We're not looking for a winner, we're just looking to see some more good football plays. Ines once again breaks 3 tackles, is then tackled on the ground, and I believe that the fumble was Dario.
He was down by contact.
Provoked by the field, and therefore, exactly, there is no penalty, but there is, unfortunately, again, a player down on the ground. This time is a player
I think it's Ines. It could be him.
No, Ines is...
No. Sorry, it's quite difficult to recognize Ines between his offensive linemen.
Ines is standing in the huddle, actually.
Yes,
can
we
give
see
you
him,
the
we
number,
see him from
the
here,
number
98. Yes, also, we're not helped
Due
by
to
the
the
fact
injury,
that he's playing with...
Spain will use 10-second subtraction from the game clock. Can I get 31 seconds, please?
So, as you just heard, Italy has no more timeouts and will be charged with a 10-second rundown on the clock. So the clock will now read 31 seconds. You see it already on the screen.
The player on the field is number 73.
Vincente Rodriguez. Thank you, Manfredi. So Vincente Rodriguez from the Sarzana Red Jackets, Italian second division. 1 meter 83 centimeters for 130 kilos. A problem with his right leg, but is still on his feet, is helped by the training staff to come on the sideline, hoping also nothing serious also for him. So get ready for the third down, 3rd and 9 to play. Ines in the empty backfield, receive the snaps, search downfield, scans, and is Rinaldi again for a gain of 14 yards. He goes out of bounds and stops the clock.
Out of bounds on the 40. Meanwhile, Dario, we have the names of the teams that will play the first 2 games on Sunday. Italy will face Norway in the match for 7th place at 9:30 from Lunetta Gamberini, Giorgio Bernardi Sports Center. At 12:30, same field. It will be Spain that will be facing Finland in the match for 5th place. Meanwhile, Ines scrambling again left and right until once again it's a group of Spanish players led by number 56, Manuel Elias Lorzing, that we have already mentioned many times. The game is over. The Spanish coach is receiving his Gatorade shower. And we will still have to wait, Dario, to see the Italian team win a game in the final phase of European Championship. Last time this happened, it was in 1992 when Italy won the 3rd place game. I believe it was against Great Britain, and ended up 3rd. As we wait to pass the line on the field to Manfredi, that will...
Yes, guys, everything is ready for handshakes, MVP celebration. I can say that Rodriguez has probably an ankle pain, but nothing serious. Has been treated with ice, so we can stay happy with this. And was a tough game for sure.
36 Spain, 21 Italy, the final score. Dario, as we wait for the MVPs to receive their trophy, your first impressions on today's game?
My first impression is that Spain is for real. They have played a great game, great effort, as I said before. I've seen all the areas of their game very well played, with a lot of toughness, well coached, well organized. Really a nice game by them. They deserved to play for the 5th point.
I agree absolutely with your analysis of the game, and here are the MVPs.
Miguel Quince is the offensive MVP of this game by Team Spain. He's coming to receive the plate. And number 38, Team Italy, Rami El Mekri, is the defensive most valuable player of this game.
Miguel Quince, 17 carries, 82 yards, 1 touchdown for him. For El Mekri, 7.5 total tackles, 1.5 of which for loss.
Just few words by the 2 MVPs. So, Miguel, how was your game? You did a great job and very good stats.
Yeah, well, I did a good job, but all my team helped me, especially the O-line, the offensive line, and we did it, and we will try our best in the next game as well.
Thank you. Rami, you are leading the tackles in the game. 5 solo, 5 assists, so a 7.5 total. Wonderful job. Was not enough to win the game, but great, absolutely great job done by you.
Thank you. I'm sure. I'm sure we could have done better, but you know, this is football, so better team wins. I hope next time, next game we play better. I'm sure about this, and we're gonna struggle. And I'm sure we're gonna take the seventh position.
Thank you very much, guys. Take your shower, take a rest. I will go with the coaches very quickly because we have to start our connections for the next game approaching 9 o'clock. So give me just 1 minute and I will be back to you.
Thank you, Manfredi. Dario, some quick final stats from this game.
Francesco, first down, almost the same for the two teams, 18 for Spain, 15 for Italy. 32 yards, 165 yards for Spain, 15 rush and 9 yards for Italy. 232 yards passing for Spain, 235 for Italy. Total offense, 56 plays for 397 yards for Spain, 51 plays for 226 yards for Italy. Time of possession.
Here we are.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm ready. So, sorry, Dario, I'm ready with the coach Marcos Girles. We have to run a bit because we have the second game approaching. Coach Marcos, congratulations, you did a great job. The team was very well put in place. And give us a brief comment.
Well, I just want to thank my players because we had a very bad game in the first game we had in the tournament, and we just came back and we put everything together and we really work hard because that Italian team is really, really good. And I think that our kids perform really well, and that's how we came with the win.
Congratulations, coach, and take a rest. I will go with the other coaches because we have to run. So we are absolutely late. I jumped to Coach Rotelli. Thank you very much. Coach Rotelli, O-line coach for Team Italy. Coach, what we missed tonight to win this game?
I think we can prepare better the game, compliment to the Spain that decide to come the last 15 days, that they come for beat any team that stay in front of them. I think we can adjust our timing, especially for have more solution like offensive no-huddle and defensive no-huddle too. Today was a day hot, but hot for both teams. They win. They had a good win against us. Too many mistakes we have made. Probably some bad call we had, but I'm happy for my guys. I'm happy for the guys that got the MVP. It was the young guys from my team. Is proud for me.
Thank you very much, coach. So Italy is going to face Norway. I release the line because we have to run and close this streaming to approach the next one. Thank you from the field by Manfredi Leone.
Grazie Manfredi. Thank you, Manfredi. Dario, finishing off with the stats.
So the key point is the time of possession, 29 minutes for the Team Spain, just 19 from Team Italy. Individually, rushing, Kinse 17 carries for 82 yards and for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. The best runner for Italy was Daniele Rossi with 14 yards. Passing, De Diego 14 for 23, 232, one touchdown. On the other side, 13 for 30 for Daniele Rossi, 176 and 2 touchdowns, but 4 for 5 and 59 yards and 1 touchdown for Ines. Receiving on the Spanish side, Castaño is the leading receiver with 4 receiving for 109 yards. On the other side, the leading receiver is Rinaldi with 4 receptions and 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. On defense, Manero lead the Spanish defense with 4 total tackles and 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. On the other side, the game's MVP, El Mekri, 7.5 tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss.
Thank you, Dario. We are up against our closing time. I want to close this broadcast with my congratulations to the Spanish team. They assembled a team in a short time. They took a very hard loss to Austria. They could have come today really with the wrong mindset, perhaps. Instead, my real congratulations to their coaching staff for having pulled together the team, having them focused and concentrated. They played well. They deserved to win, and the Italian team still not the Italian team that we want to play. They were beaten more than physically or technically. I think that the loss today was mental because the Spanish team was more focused and more concentrated. Once again, your final score for today is 36 Spain, 21 Italy. For Manfredi Leone and Dario Grippa, this is Francesco Porcello telling you good evening for a very short time. We will be back for the broadcast of the next game, Austria against Denmark.